Danny, I don't hear you, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it just me?
Hear
me now?
Yeah,
video.
Hold up. Look, even before the show starts, let's get this out the way. All right.
You want to lie?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
you might as well just get that shit out the way. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the platform.
Fail.
The most silent, I guess, podcast on the internet about gaming right now. And you know what? This is a very, very special show. We have important people on today. We have, Mr. Lou here from Dual Shockers, the editor-in-chief, the dude that makes you stop writing bullshit and put good shit out. You know, he is that dude. I want to say welcome. We always do our introductions. Introduce yourself, sir, and tell us what you're currently gaming on right now.
See, I was actually really worried. I was almost certain I was going to be the first life gone. So thank you for taking that kind of pressure off me.
You're welcome. Anything for our guests.
So, as you said, I'm Lou Cataldi. I'm editor-in-chief over at Dual Shockers, recently at least. And now, I guess lately I've just been, I'm ready to move, so I'm packing up stuff. But when I haven't been packing stuff, I've been playing through the Destiny 2 beta.
Ooh, there you go.
Destiny 2 beta. So how you liking it so far?
All right, so I'm liking it. No, I'm liking it. And that's kind of a surprise. I went to the Destiny 2 unveiling when that was actually happening, and I wasn't so hot on it then. I thought I was expecting much more, but compared to what we saw actually at the event when it happened in May, they added a few bits, even in that first homecoming mission, that fleshed it out more, including. Did you guys play it?
Yes, I played it.
I'm still waiting on the PC version to do anything. So
the PC version's an entirely different game.
I was going to say, I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, no, I played that. I'm awful at PC. That's a cardinal sin. But I couldn't manage to do it. The people next to me, though, I was watching, they were able to finish the strike in about 20 minutes. It was taking the people on PS4 like 35 or so.
Nah,
shit.
Nah. When you have Eddie there, Lou, it took us 4 hours.
Oh God!
Oh man!
You kept getting killed, man.
Eddie, you.
No,
that's bad.
I usually be the last. I usually daggone. I mean, I've done it in 20 minutes with other people. It's just me, Mike, and Preston, which is BSing around and having fun.
We were, but me and Preston were carrying them.
Nah. Look, me and Preston had more kills.
Mike, you can't talk about being carried over.
I know. Thank you. Please, somebody put him out there. You know.
My boy Leon carries me in Splatoon 2.
Okay. All right. Well, at least we got that shit noted. Because don't come for people on the panel and your shit is just as guilty. You know what I'm saying? So.
I know, right? Me and Preston we both had like 100 and something kills. And Mike was like at 54 kills or something, like 42 kills. Like,
well, I wonder
Mike,
why.
What you doing?
Well, I was wondering why. I was picking your ass up the whole time.
Nah.
He's like, Mike, revive me. Mike, revive me. I'm down.
That's when I was using my super.
That sound like some sweet ass excuses up in this mug, man.
Nah. When you playing the what's the name when shit, I can't remember the damn thing, but you'll get stomped by a boss, and it's like it don't take long for you to die, because when you get ready to kill this guy, he's stomping everybody around.
It just sounds like fucking excuses to me. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, give me a handicap because I mean I didn't even play Destiny 1, and I just jumped in Destiny 2.
That's another excuse
blind.
too. All right. Well, I just want to say I'm gonna cut you off. I just want to say, Lou, thank you so much for being on the show once again, man. I appreciate it. We all do. And that's a little bit of a legitness going on right now. So
It's all my pleasure.
all right, so now let's do our regular intros. We always do it from left to right. We're starting with Achilles. What's up, man? Introduce yourself, sir. Tell us what you're playing.
What's up? Before I do my intro, I gotta teach you guys something I learned from the comment section on the internet. Apparently, i7 6700K is equal to the Xbox One X CPU. Just if you guys didn't know that, you just had to put that information out.
I don't think that's true, but All right, go ahead.
It's Achilles. Go ahead and follow me on YouTube. Twitch, Twitter. Everything's the same. Spelled AKEYLES. And today, I didn't get to play anything yet, but I've always been playing Gears, Injustice, and the NHL 18 beta just downloaded, so I'm gonna be ready for that.
Damn, I'm gonna test that NHL. I used to love to play that shit back in the day. Well, tell me how it is, man. Let me know what it's about. If they change too much or if it's still good. Keep me posted. All right. So next up, who we got? Cool Cat Terri. What's up? Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us what you're playing.
All right, hey everybody, it's Cool Cat Terri from Twitch. Been doing great today. Apologies for popping in last second, but game-wise, I just wrapped up 2 games that I just did Skylar and Pluck's Adventure on. Just knocked that out. It was a pretty good game. It was short, but it was a good game. And then I also did a real quick playthrough of Never Alone today as well.
Never Alone. Why does that sound familiar to me?
That's the one with the Inuit girl and the fox.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was pretty
so
good.
How was that?
I really liked it, and then they had this thing where as you're going through, you unlock like these cultural insights. So as you're playing through the game, you can get like a hands-on like educational experience about the Inuit people, and it's like high quality. It's like stuff for it's like high quality like National Geographic kind of like videos. It's pretty cool stuff.
All right, well that's pretty dope. I'm gonna check that out too, like probably after the show, because I got a little bit of money to burn, so I may check that out and see what's going on. So shit. Well, thank you for being here. Next up, we got the real one. Hold on, Eddie, you want your intro music?
Yeah.
I know you want your intro music. Here we go. All right. What's up, Eddie, man? Introduce yourself. Tell us what you're playing, sir.
What's up? This is Eddie, and right now, wow. Okay, right now I'm playing Battlefield 1. I've been playing on this a little bit and switching back and forth to like Rise, Son of Rome, and Gears and stuff like that. And just playing some of everything, to be honest with you.
Okay, all right.
I checked out the new Game Plus mode for Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm getting ready to dive back into that as well.
Did you get wrecked in it already?
Nah, I beat it already.
You sound like you lying and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm maxed
really
out. I'm like level 50. Man.
You said what?
I'm maxed out level 50. I'm trying to play.
Why the fuck you lying?
Nah. Go check the stats. You know the game. You know the PSN ID.
All right. Well, I'm gonna check you out and see if that shit is showing improving. All right. Well, anyways, thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate it. Next up, we got Eugene. Man, you're gonna have to unmute yourself, dude. What's up, man? Introduce yourself. Tell us what you're playing, sir.
What's good, everybody? It's Eugene. Haven't been playing much of anything lately, man. But when I do get the time, man, I throw some of that Tekken on for everybody.
Why did I think it was either Tekken or Street Fighter? I don't know. I knew you were gonna say either one.
Hey man, they're both fun games. I can't help it. I love what I love, you know.
All right. So Tekken. What's your favorite character right now?
Well, for a long time, my main was Faye Kazuya, but I recently switched to Dragunov.
Okay. All right. I heard some complaints about him that he said he was cheap.
No, he's not. If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna lose any character in the game.
Well, yeah, that's true. All right, well, what's up, man? I'm glad you're here, man. Next up, we got Leon, man. What's going on, man? Introduce yourself. Tell us what you're playing, sir.
What's up, man? I've been playing some Splatoon 2 like forever, man. I've been with my daughter a lot, and it's dope that I could just be around her and play something like, you know, it's like online multiplayer based. So I've been having a lot of fun with that game, carrying Mike, you know. Been playing Destiny beta, Destiny 2. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, that's dope. Nintendo love. You know, like I said, one of our segments is about Nintendo, so I really want to hear what Lou have to say, you know, about it, because I have a few questions, but we'll get there. Okay, next up we got Big Mike, man. What's up, man? Introduce yourself. Tell us what you're playing, sir.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Mike here. I have been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted 4. I've been playing Blaze Blue Central Fiction, King of the Monsters, and Tekken 7. And I'm going to play tonight Lawbreakers, the beta.
Shit. You said King of the Monsters, dude. That's like old school.
Oh, and Fortnite.
Okay, Fortnite. Yeah.
Fortnite's good, too.
Fortnite is good, but I'm tripping on the King of Monsters, man. What you playing that on? It's like virtual console or something? What is that?
I'm playing on the PlayStation 4. I got it for $8.
Oh, it's available. You can buy it on PS4.
Yep, on digital for $8.
Holy shit, that's old school, man.
It is old school. I used to play that on my Sega Genesis back in the day. I was like, man, I said, this is dope. I have to get this game.
I remember I had to argue with this motherfucking super tall fat dude at the arcades. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like hogging the machine, and you know, moms, you know, she had brought me and my bro to the arcade, and we were trying to experience all the shit. You know, King of the Monsters in the arcade, the bass was just like unreal. So you know, it drew us to the fucking cabinet, and you know, we got there, and this motherfucking tall ass fat dude just would not move. We're like, man, look. You know, we'll even give you quarters to go play other games. We just want to fucking play this shit. He was just like, nah, little man, you know, yeah, keep it moving. But here's the funny thing. My mom is insane. And she walked up to that dude. She said, look here, you fat, dusty, ashy-looking motherfucker. My kids are trying to play this damn game. You've been hogging this shit for an hour. I need you to move or lose it. That dude hit the bricks. Like he ran the fuck out of there. And we played that shit for about 20 minutes. I love that game. That's like old school, man. So it's interesting that you say, you know, PlayStation has that available. It makes me want to go back and kind of test it out myself. Maybe
well, you know there, Danny. Once you get that PlayStation 4, you can play in this greatness.
Yeah, well, yeah.
My team's not getting a PS4.
You got a
PC. Look,
You got a PC. Man. You don't need to get a PlayStation to play that.
Yeah, I got a PC.
Emulator.
I can emulate this shit.
I got King of Fighters 1.
Exactly.
Those King of Monsters.
I got the Simpsons arcade too. What you know about that?
Yeah, Simpsons Arcade, one of my favorite arcade games
too
of all
old school.
time.
That's
one of my favorite arcade games of all time.
Never could beat that game. That shit was hard as hell.
I beat that game back in the arcades and the old arcade X-Men.
Oh, yeah,
Never had that many
X-Men.
quarters.
You said what?
Yo,
You
Mike,
never played?
Never had that many quarters. I remember
That's
just
true. It was
sticking
like
money into
15
it.
quarters.
you know what game was hard as fuck? X-Men on a Genesis. Oh my god. That game will make you put two faces apart, yo.
Boy,
You know what game I
man.
couldn't stand? Moonwalker.
Yeah, Moonwalker was.
I could never beat
Damn.
that game. There was this one door I couldn't. You know how you got to find the little girls in the little doors and shit.
Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of suspect now.
I was just about to say.
Damn, baby.
Oh shit,
about-
Leon.
what
Hold
I
up, you
think
about to
back
get
about
one
it,
by
it's not
default, dude. You gotta get one by default.
Nah, yo, Michael
God
Jackson.
damn, Leon, you lost a life
Yo.
over, man.
Michael Jackson was the king. Moonwalker was a classic game, man. Come on.
That shit
now.
was difficult though, man.
Yeah, man. It was
Sure.
mad glitches in that game.
Too, man. Yeah, but I used to like when you transform into the big old fucking Captain Neo robot and shit. And like, yeah, you're like invincible for a second. I used to like that shit, but
Genesis was dope, man.
yeah. All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Danny. I'm actually the host or one of the hosts here of the platform, and I have been playing some Crossout, and I know I'm gonna say this because y'all gonna already say it for me and shit. I've been playing some Rust. Yes, I've been playing some fucking Rust. Naked dudes shooting each other. Yes. And I've stopped playing Conan because like I turned it on the other day. I got in and I just was like unhappy. So I tried to play it, but I just couldn't and shit. So that's what I've been doing with my time. So what's up, everybody? Like I said, we have a very, very special guest on our show today, Mr. Lou Contaldi. So let's go with the questions. I have some questions here that, like I said, you're not in the hot seat. I'm not going to try to burn your ass right now, you know. I just got a few personal questions that I kind of wanted to throw at you. And then,
All right, I trust you.
All right. Well, that's good. So, can you tell us what PlayStation has lined up? No, I'm just playing. I don't want to. All right, so let's go with the first question here, and it's basically just tell us what you do at DualShockers, and second part, how did you get this fantastic career with them?
Yeah, sure thing. All right, so I am the editor-in-chief at DualShockers. What that basically means is I'm running the editorial direction of the site. So when everyone comes and is going to go and report to me, if we have an issue with news, if we need to know if this is a news thing or a rumor thing, generally it goes through my main man Giuseppe. He's the one who is round the clock working on stuff. If you ever see a story break, it's generally him. But if he ever has a question, it goes to me. I assign people reviews to do. I get in touch with all of the agencies, the PR agencies, the publishers, the developers, and I start new programs. Right now we're having the DualShockers Summer Community, which is something that me and the founders, Yaris, Joel, and Al, Yaris, hopefully I think is going to still try and get on this. Yeah. But yeah, we're just trying to celebrate the community. We opened up the Discord. We're giving out free games to people. We're giving out a console at the end of it. And you don't have to retweet for any of it, and that's the best part. The second question, how'd I get into it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm pretty new into the industry, generally, as far as things go. I started probably 3.5 years ago, and that's when I was going into law school. I am a terrible writer, always have been, and when I was going into law school, I just figured, all right, let me practice on something I like. I love video games. Let me just kind of write about that. Maybe I'll get better. So I started writing on an IGN blog. I moved over to another smaller blog at that time, Middle of Nowhere Gaming. I'll give them a shout out because they're still running today. And then I moved over to My Nintendo News, eventually to DualShockers, and then just really worked my ass off.
Man, that's amazing, man. It's like, like, is it like a surreal thing that you kind of like have all this access now to like all these gaming industry things? Like, is it kind of a surreal thing?
If anyone were to ever tell me that Nintendo would be sending me consoles as a kid, I would have shat myself. Let alone, like, that was, you have I have a list of your questions because I'm cheating here. But, but you have a question on here on what was a big gaming moment. I mean, earlier this year, Breath of the Wild came out. I got to review it. I saw my score in the Accolades trailer. Did you ever think that I was going to be in a trailer for Zelda? It would have blown my mind.
Wow, that is simply amazing. Like, that is, that's a crazy thing, like to have that story where it's like, I am the guy that, that can, get access to that. I am the guy that, look at that trailer right there, the accolades trailer. My score was featured, with Nintendo. So that's just so amazing to me. I have a lot of questions. Like I said, I tried to shrink it down. I try not to bog you down with too many, but I may slip another one here and there.
Yeah, go for it. Just anything. I'm an open book.
All right, cool. All right, so now my next question was E3. There's always been this kind of argument so far this year of like, did E3 suck or was E3, great this year? I kind of wanted to pick your brain on that, since you kind of have more of an inside track on that. What did you think of E3 as a whole? Like, what was your take on what E3 had to offer as a whole?
All right, I don't think E3 sucked. We get that a lot. And I think people go in with crazy expectations. Everyone through the years talking about how great E3 is going to be. So your expectations are high, just going into it. I was wowed by a lot of studios. I think Ubisoft did a great job, almost surprisingly great job.
They did.
I was shocked with how much I wanted to play Anthem. And as far as the big companies go, I mean, I can respect what a lot of them are doing. Yes, I loved when PlayStation years ago, Sony would go and show Final Fantasy VII Remaster and say, just, this is coming in the future. Or Kingdom Hearts 3, it's coming in the future. I respect the game they're playing now, where they're saying, we're not going to show you things that are coming 5 years in advance. We're going to wait and show you what we're playing this year.
Absolutely, yeah. I thought there was a lot of that too for this year's E3, or games coming out rather soon, and that I can appreciate, because sometimes when you show some shit that's like super far out, it's like you get the hype, then you just lose it, and it kind of goes by the wayside, and then when they kind of bring it back, the hype isn't the same. So I'm glad that they're kind of taking a different approach and showing shit that's coming out sooner than later. What was the worst thing at E3? Like when you were watching it or being there in the mix of it, what pissed you off? Like what were you just like, what the fuck is going on here?
All right, wait, I gotta think about this.
Because I have a moment, but
All right, let me hear your moment. I remember. All right, so I'll go. And it didn't piss me off so much. So maybe it's breaking the question, but I remember I was tired. I was angry. I just coming back from a music festival. Went straight from music festival to E3. I was worn out, exhausted, and then I was like, all right, I gotta stay up because there's another press conference tonight. It's Devolver Digital, and they went on. It was hilarious. I mean, I look back in retrospect, and I love everything they did. That night, though, I was like, I'm going to kill someone. I just stayed up 27 hours to cover this.
I'm not going to lie. When I saw that shit, I was like, what is happening? It was like this host, and, they were like, I don't know, it was just like shit was happening, and they were like arguing with each other, and it was like awkward ass moments of silence. I was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
All right,
it was hilarious after I rewatched it. You're right, yeah.
So was that your moment, or do you have one that you're specifically thinking of?
Yeah, specific. It was with EA, and they had like this fucking like I don't even know how to describe this dude. He had like boy band hair, but he had like I don't know. He's just like a fucking total 100% douchebag. Like I don't know, but he was introducing a game developer to bring up what was that? I think it was Need for Speed, and he introduced himself as like a YouTube content creator. I hate that full term because it just sounds so fucking shitty corporate. And he was like all stiff, and it was just like, why is EA even using this dude? Like, this dude is not helping this shitty press conference at all. And I don't know why I was so triggered with this dude, but it was just like, I don't know. He just triggered me to no end. I just did not like it. Like, and I love Need for Speed, but I was just like, I can't fuck with that dude right there. I just can't. So that was I think my least favorite moment. Maybe all of EA altogether, but that definitely was top of the list of that was shit I didn't like at E3. So okay, so Devolver Digital fucked you over with their show.
That and always Kingdom Hearts 3 never getting a release date.
Oh yeah,
that's a stake to my heart. Every single day we go without a release date.
I know, and they released a new trailer too, and it showed like Toy Story, that world, but there was no talk of release date in that trailer, was it?
I think it might have been
release year.
Yep.
Yeah, it just had 2018, right?
Yep. I've had an Amazon pre-order for this game since I want to say 2011.
Oh shit! Okay. Damn, they didn't just cancel it, like give you your money back and shit.
No, I got a great deal on it. I have it for like $35.
Oh.
Not that I'm not gonna get the review copy for it anyway, but I need it on principle at this point.
I hear you now. It's like it's been too long. Might as well just bring on the shit. Let's release it. Let's give it to us. We want it. I heard talks of a PC version too. Which is just like mind blowing in itself. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. I know Final Fantasy is, but I'm not sure about Kingdom Hearts. So that would be interesting if that happened. Let's see. What else can I pick your brain about? Okay, so this is kind of a triggery subject. I don't know. I don't want to put you in a box on this one, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Who do you think right now is the most dominant as far as consoles in this industry right now? Like, who do you think is leading the way for and far ahead of everybody else? Who would you say is in that position?
Well, they don't have a console out yet, but it has to be Apple's prospective console coming in the future.
Oh shit! Here we go. I'm sorry.
That's just pure gold right there.
All right, not going for the dig here. Are we talking about what I think objectively is winning right now, or am I talking about what to me I prefer?
What to you that you personally prefer, and then give me your objective answer.
All right. Well, right now I go home every single day. I turn on the PlayStation 4. It's not because we're called dual shockers, it's just because that is what dominates my living room, and okay. I'm totally cool with that. I got my Xbox, unfortunately, building up some dust, but. Ooh. If they can come out strong with the Xbox One X and give me a reason why it's going to look better on my 4K TV, then I'll switch over. I'm not that invested in any ecosystem. I want the best product.
Oh, okay. All right. So you must got a PC then?
No, because as I said, I'm off of PC. I got to build that up.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. That is very unfortunate, but rip to one of those lives right there. So PS4 personally, now what do you think objectively, like your industry answer?
Industry answer, it's a slam dunk that PS4 took charge of this generation. It was definitely gaining the lead last generation, and then Xbox, went and dropped the ball, and that's written in stone. There's nothing we could do about that at the moment. I think I like an aggressive Xbox. I'm happy to see that they're out for blood. They're trying to do everything they can. I think it makes for a better game, makes for a better industry. And I'm surprised. If I'm being honest, I'm hopeful. I'm always happy when I think Nintendo's taking the right steps.
Absolutely.
But I think I'm kind of shocked with the performance they're getting, where I thought that Switch was going to sell out. Yeah, it was going to sell out the first month. Maybe it'd sell out the first 2 months, but I'm still, to hear that people are finding it hard to get one still, I think is crazy.
It's very telling. We always have this conversation on this show all the time because everybody don't want to talk about Nintendo but me. And I'm still that that hopeless romantic when it comes to them. And it's like I still want them to succeed. And it's like, even in our segment, our next segment here, we talk about the sales of Nintendo and how well they're doing, and it's just mind blowing. Like, literally, like almost half of lifetime sales of the Wii U already. I think in like the first 4 or 5 months. So that is like, it's just amazing to me what Nintendo is doing. But I think they really have a shot though to kind of mix it up a little bit. Kind of make Sony sweat just a tiny bit. Underarm
definitely
sweat.
Get
really
the definitely get that spot as the second console, which is great. I think everyone should hope to have 2 consoles, because it gives you that diversity, and there's diversity in Switch that isn't there between PS4, Xbox One.
Right.
That's right.
Right. That's absolutely right.
That's facts right there between me and Leo, because I have the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PlayStation 4. I mainly play the PlayStation 4 and the Switch.
Same thing with you, Leon. You only play your PS4 and Switch all the time?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a big supporter of Nintendo since the Wii U, since the Wii. I mean, I've been playing all of Nintendo consoles. I think the only Nintendo console that really triggered me was the GameCube. And then I ended up actually really liking the GameCube. But I mean, I play all consoles, even the Xbox. I mean, I do feel like Sony's definitely dominating this generation. But at the same time, I've always loved, Xbox and what they do. I just feel like, they need to bring the games this generation, because this year, after Halo Wars 2, I just kind of feel like they've been absent,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man, that's been kind of the problem. So, Xbox, they just need to step it up. You know what I'm saying? Step it up. You got to have some games coming out. You got to build hype. I mean, you can't have that power and just not have shit on it. It's like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? I might as well just get, something that I know got shit on it, like your Switch, or, I know Mario's coming, or PlayStation 4. Hell, you already got games that have been out that are amazing on PlayStation. So,
But Super Lucky Tail.
Super Lucky Tail.
That's a pass. That's a pass.
No, that ain't no pass. Nah.
That's a life.
Yeah, thank you. That ain't no motherfucking pass. I don't know where you got that from. Where was that?
Danny, I must ask you a question. I have to ask you a question though, Danny.
What's that?
I mean, you were like all gung ho on the Switch, but did you like Red Dead Redemption on the Switch?
Man, shut the fuck up, man. See, let me explain something. Now, Lou, here's the thing, Lou. This is what happened, okay? We did because I tried to explain it so you can get context behind his bullshit.
He has a lot of what-if moments.
Yeah, so we were doing a live reaction stream to the Nintendo, remember that Nintendo Switch announcement? It was like...
Yep.
Yeah, it was like the big old Nintendo reveal. Yeah, arms.
1-2 Switch. I already know where this is going.
You already know where it's going. So, they showed the cowboy and shit, right? Now, I am hyped as fuck on the stream. I'm like, oh, I'm standing up. I'm like, oh, shit. Red Dead Redemption on the Switch is going down. They pan out, and all they show is numbers on the screen. I was so fucking mad. I was like, what the fuck is this? And Mike was like, dude, you thought it was Red Dead Redemption? You're a fool. And I looked so stupid because I was like, let's go. I mean, I was so fucking hype. And when that shit was 1-2 Switch, I literally said, if I ever do get a Nintendo Switch, if it comes with a copy of 1-2 Switch, I'm burning that fucking copy. I will set it. I will burn it in effigy on my front lawn.
You don't want to lock eyes while you play?
You said what?
And the funny part,
You don't want to lock eyes while you play the game?
I don't want to milk a cow's titty.
and the funny part of that also, Lou, is after the reveal, Tony Polanco is going to come on our live podcast, which he did, him and Chris Seeley, and they were going to come roast Danny.
But now here's the thing. I was a different man because they came with. Look, when I tell you that they had armor and weapons of destroyed Nintendo ammo, ready to get at me and shit. And when they came on the show, it was so different for them because I was a broken man by then. So it was like they showed up. And they were like, "What's up, man? So you ready?" I said, "Yeah, man, but Nintendo is fucking bullshit." And it was like silence for like 2 minutes. They were like, Wait, what? I was like, yeah, man. You know, if you came to debate, you got the wrong motherfucker. Because I am so shitty right now. And they were like, oh, and then the show just like changed. Like we talked about something totally different. And you know, that shit was hilarious. But you know, I was fully triggered, man. So. You know, that with the Red Dead Redemption finally, I was triggered. And then the dude that posed with that big ass stupid gun, remember that shit?
You talking about
like, yeah, you said remember that shit, Leon? We had the pose, and it was like
Ubisoft, and it was like
He was posing with the dual splatties or whatever.
Yeah, the dual splatty Splatoon bullshit.
That was such an awkward moment.
I mean, I thought that was cool. I like Great Sandman.
Cool? Hold on,
I like Great Sandman from Dragon Ball Z.
Killer, you said you thought that was cool? Okay. All right, yeah, no, that ain't cool, man. You at 6 right now, so just to let you know where you at.
So you feeling Great Sandman? That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, that's 5. You want to go 4?
I'm down with
it. He got nervous. He's like, hold up. All right, so I think you kind of touched base on what you're excited about, Lou. But like in the future, like, can you give me kind of like maybe your top 3 games that you're looking forward to that are coming out either soon or in 2018?
All right. Well, I'm gonna say 2018.
Okay.
Because I'm really, really crossing my fingers here for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay, Kingdom Hearts 3 for sure.
They said it. Hopefully it doesn't get pushed, but that's what I'm keeping my fingers crossed on. Besides that, Destiny 2. Unfortunately, I'm one of those Destiny crackheads. And you know, I have 650 hours or something in there.
Holy
so
shit.
Yeah, too much time.
Yeah.
I had about 700 on Xbox. I was going hard on Xbox.
Well, damn, that's a long time. Well, I can't say anything because I put like maybe 1,700 hours in Rust. So, you know, I really can't, you know, I can't talk shit.
Everyone has their thing. they go home and they're like, that's what I'm playing tonight. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides that, I guess, and I don't know if it's excited or if it's just I want to get my hands on it and I want to see if it ends up being as good as they're making it look. But Super Mario Odyssey, because they make that look like it's magic. I mean, you know, it looks like it has that charm of Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, and I need that in my life. I don't know if they'll be able to do it, but I said that about Zelda too, and that ended up working out.
Yeah, Zelda's, whew, but I don't try to bust me out, Mike, because I see you, dude. I don't fucking try to bust me out. I know what you're about to do. Look, stop it.
You want to talk about it?
Like I said, I am also playing Legend of Zelda. You know, I am playing differently. That's all I can say right now.
4K resolution.
Yo ho.
You know, but I know Mike's coming with that bullshit, so I had to circumvent his garbage.
Well, I won't be telling anyone, so.
But I love that game, man. And definitely Mario Odyssey is really intriguing. Shut up, Leon.
You can't even review the game. Just be quiet.
Well, I know, man. I can't. I can't live stream it. I can't fucking review it. I can barely even fucking talk about it. All I can say is I love it and shit.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, whatever, man. You know, Mike, I just had to stop you right there because I know that's what you were getting ready to do. So that's my moment. But yeah, and Mario Odyssey, I had a question for you because I thought I read somewhere where they confirmed that it's 1080p docked at 60, and it's what, 720 60 on the when it's undocked. Is that true?
Am I on? Let me check. Yeah, I am. Good. I'm not sure. I think that was mentioned. I have no idea though. I think until it ends up hitting Digital Foundry, I don't consider things official.
Okay.
But I would imagine that it's probably 1080 docked, somewhere between 720 900 undocked. But once again, Digital Foundry is I always plug them because they do amazing work.
They do. They find out the real. They give you the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate that. Especially somebody who like actually invests in this hobby. So it's like, okay, all right, I like to know what it's actually doing. But I must say though, Mario Odyssey looks damn juicy. Like, can it take you back to the old Mario, Nintendo 64 days? Possibly. It looks that good. Can it hit you with that Mario Sunshine happiness? Yeah, it looks like it really could. Like, I've watched a lot of gameplay, and I swear, and you could ask these guys too on the panel. I was like kind of against it because I couldn't understand why Mario as a human was in a world with tall humans. I just couldn't understand what the fuck that was.
Reminds me of Sonic 06.
Yeah, I was like, I was thinking, okay, original Mario, he was in Brooklyn, and then he got, he went down a drain, and fuck, and then him and his brother,
crushed in there.
He said what?
Said he got crushed.
Yeah,
going down that drain. That's just what happened.
You talking about the John Leguizamo Mario Brothers?
No, John Leguizamo. Don't ever mention. Hold on. All right, Leon. So now, first of all, let's get this.
But you said Brooklyn. That's why I said.
Hold on. First of all, let's get that out the way right now.
Yeah, that's like the worst movie ever. Like the worst.
Yeah. That. Don't talk about the movie. I'm talking about the old cartoon show. Remember the old cartoon?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's
I used to watch the old cartoon show.
Remember they were working on the drain?
Bowser was like a different color.
Yeah, remember that shit? They was working on the drain with the Princess of Hand and the Mushroom Land with the action with the plumbers be hooked on the brothers. Boom, boom, boom. I know you remember that shit.
Let me say something real quick, yo. But I saw that Mario game on the which I thought to myself, is Mario like 2'5" in height?
It's just weird. It was just a weird dynamic, and
I
went too deep into it.
He's not a human.
Yeah, I went too far deep into it when I analyzed it. I actually rewatched the show, and I was like, holy fuck, I got too deep.
You know what's been messing with my head in the Mario universe? How mushrooms are an ability, but also are people. Like, I'm like...
How about how toadettes are male?
What?
Yeah, I heard about that too, yeah. Toadettes
That's the thing.
Wait, hold on, what?
Toadettes are male.
My mind is blown right now.
Wait, I think did you read the original booklet, I think, for the original Mario Brothers, where they were explaining what's happening? You know how they always used to give backstory to games?
Mm-hmm. Even from the NES.
Exactly. So they said, I think that it was either that toads were being turned into either blocks or coins. But basically it means through the entire game, you're smashing up toads with no disregard.
Holy
so yeah, there's a lot of fucked up things going on in that universe.
That's dark as fuck.
There's a lot of dark in that game. Even Yoshi's kind of dark if you think about it. He's like punching him in the neck.
That's true, and he's like eating everything. Like, even he just eats everything. Like,
now Yoshi's driving a cart.
That is weird. Hold on, we can go on this forever. I don't want to, because my mind is starting to be blown. I'm starting to be like, I'm starting to think of Mario in dark ways and shit. I don't know. I should be there with that.
You heard about Mario Brothers 3, right? How there's like all these satanic symbols in the game.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on, Leon, you fucking my childhood up. You know what I'm saying? You and Lou is fucking my childhood up right now. All right, so, I have a question here. Now, I want to hear from somebody who's like, like yourself, Lou, who's like an industry guy. What trends, the gaming industry trends that you notice that are kind of a negative, or you think shouldn't happen today, like maybe DLC or the type of DLC being offered? What are some trends that you noticed recently that you feel like shouldn't happen or should be reversed?
All right, well, I'm going to talk two, I think. And one's not so bad. I think one's bigger, and one's one that we kind of focus on mainly at Dual Shockers, and it's that censorship and self-censorship, which we think also occurs. We think that a lot of games being brought over from Japan, from the East in general, feel like that they need to conform to what our culture is in the West. I don't think that's necessary. I think yes, maybe give that option to people. Yes, do it tastefully. Maybe make sure that's done right. Make sure that it's true to the original. But I think that that's a growing movement that maybe it's PC, maybe it's because people are getting triggered by stuff. But we think that I think as our entire site thinks that people should stay true to their culture. People should stay true to the developer's original art or mindset for his art, even if that may offend some. We think people have the power to go out there and spend money on what they want and spend money on what they don't want. And yeah, maybe there's some topics you don't broach, but we think developers have the good sense not to include that most of the time.
For sure.
On top of that, I don't like real money loot keys.
You don't like that? You don't like that?
No, that's my thing. I mean, I hate, and that's just my personal gripe, because I go and play Rocket League, and I love the hell out of Rocket League. I love the hell out of Psionics. I think they all do a great job. But I hate getting boxes that I have to spend money on keys for that I can't just go earn the keys somehow, because that's the case in some games. I hear PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is just starting to implement that, and I understand it's cosmetic. I get that. I don't know. It feels wrong to me. And looped in that, I guess, are DLC for stuff still in early access. I think that's crazy. If you're in early access, finish the game.
Thank you. That's like Ark. Can you believe how Ark is doing this shit? It's like, what the fuck is happening? Even the game that I played too, Rust. I think Rust is still like beta or whatever the fuck, and they have like DLCs and like those damn crates. You got to buy the keys, unlock the crates and shit like that. That type of stuff is like anti-consumer, and especially the early access stuff. I feel like if you invest into an early access game, it's on the developers to do good by those early adopters and focus on the game. Coming out with DLC and all these extra packs and shit to add to an early access game is just, I don't know, it just seems a tad bit kind of disrespectful. And it is, it's definitely not a consumer thing. It's not for us. It's definitely a corporate interest. Investors want more money, so siphon it out of us. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I think it's kind of a disgusting practice, to be honest.
I have a question for Lou. Have you ever purchased DLC? Like, what's your worst?
Oh yeah, I mean,
what's your worst DLC purchase ever?
Wait, my what DLC purchase?
Like what DLC would you say you probably regret, or not regret, but just like some people probably think is crazy? Like if you said you purchased it.
All right, let me think on that.
Like you spent like $500 on Candy Crush or something crazy.
All right, so I went, and as I'm not a big Batman fanboy. I'm going to start out with that. I'm unfortunately never got into comic books. Loved Batman Arkham Asylum. Followed that to Arkham City, kind of like that. I think day one, I went out and got. I broke my rule. Never buy day one DLC. I went out and bought day one DLC for the whole expansion pack for Arkham Knight. And yeah, all right, I ended up liking that game about like 3 years later. But it was money that I shouldn't have spent. I thought the game was broken. Yeah, I deserve that.
Oh shit.
But I think that I think the game's a good game. I think I eventually played through most of the DLC, but I think a lot of the DLC ended up being trash. A lot of costumes, a lot of playable characters I didn't care to touch.
Well, okay. At least see now I don't feel so bad because they were trying to let me have it because I spent some money on Crossout. And well, I mean, I did trick off some money. I
Right.
really did. It was like I think I spent like $24, and I bought like some credit packs so I can buy like parts and shit. I felt dirty as fuck, but it felt good afterwards. Like once I got my shit built up.
Sound like an addict right now.
I
got a
was like,
question.
holy fuck.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Ever since what was it? A little bit before November, Sony came out talking about checkerboard and 4K and all of that and everything. And Microsoft starts saying true 4K. Can you clear up the, I guess, the illusion of not illusion, but the misconception of what people are perceiving as far as like 4K and whatever's like to me personally, checkerboard in 4K, I'm cool with it. It looks good. The only way we can tell any difference is if somebody like Digital Foundry do a video and zoom so far in. So can you clear up and what you think, saying, or what, saying your opinion is on 4K and the difference between what Microsoft is getting ready to put out and what Sony already has?
All right. Well, I'm gonna start off with I'm not the technical specialist. I do tech stuff, but not that much. Where I'm gonna give you the ins and outs. I'll give you at least my basic concept of it. Where yes, Xbox has the better product. No, you may not notice it, even if you have a 4K TV. You might need something a little larger, something towards the 60, 70 something inch TVs, 4K, in order to spot that. And yeah, I think that I have a PS4 Pro. I think it looks great. I think if someone were to come up and tell me that it was true 4K, I wouldn't know the difference visually, unless someone like Digital Foundry is doing that great work doing side by side comparisons to show what the best product is. But even then, I think we saw. Instance, I think Digital Foundry did a bit on them where they went to go see if it was true 4K running on an Xbox One X, like they said. And they said that, yeah, sometimes they use a little bit of that super sampling or checkerboard to try and to get that effect of 4K while also running at 60 FPS. And I think when we're getting down to the fine details, it's gonna matter more to the super enthusiasts, people who are going out and fine tuning their and calibrating their 4K TVs, people out there with the huge 80-inch, 70-inch TVs. I think if you are the normal consumer going out and getting that Sony XB 850 that I got, 40-inch that you just want it to look nice in your living room playing your games, I think that you are going to be fine with either.
See, there you go, Eddie. You got your question answered because you sure been posting a lot of that shit. Like,
I mean, it's just
like, is 4K this? Is 4K really 4K?
To me, I'm like this. I mean, if you got the 4K television, you're not gonna really see like the difference because your television is gonna help it out by upscaling it anyway, and it's just I don't understand the arguments from everybody else. And sometimes it give me a headache.
A little like imagine. I mean that's the thing is upscaling 1080 to 4K still looks fucking beautiful. There's nothing, I'm not gonna say that doesn't look great, but if you were to say let's take a 3DS screen and blow it up to 4K,
it's horrible.
Yeah, I mean it would look horrible. So yeah, it might. I think dollars for donuts, it ends up looking the same. But if we're asking what's the best product by nature, it's going to end up being the Xbox One X. Whether that's, if you care that much, I think HDR was more important for me when I was buying the 4K rather than the actual 4K itself. I know for a lot of people, it's more where their friends are playing, what the ecosystem they're invested on. But yeah, I think you're good buying either. if you want to be a perfectionist, then you're getting the Xbox One X at the moment, or PC.
Mm. You've heard it here first, folks. You have what you need now. You got the knowledge. Now you've heard it. Yes, Xbox is strong. Yes, it could offer that true 4K, but it's all on preference. So all you dudes who was arguing, I know I was telling Lou about the new word moist. These dudes getting really moist about 4K. In the grand scheme of things, Xbox has the power to do it. PlayStation 4 looks damn good anyway. I mean, PS4 Pro on a 4K screen is like eye bleeding anyway. PC, you already know what PC is. So, it's all on preference. It's all on preference. Do you want to see a spec, or do you want to see 2 specs? Or, do you want to see a pebble on the ground, or you want to see 3 pebbles? It's all on your preference. But that's a good question, Eddie. But like I said, you've been really on that. I know that was like boiling inside you. You were like itching to ask somebody that question. He was because he's been all about it. He's like, I need to know, is it 4K or is it 4K? I'm like, yeah, you literally said the same shit. So I don't know.
Okay,
so
Lou, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have 2 questions. I don't know if you can answer them, but you can tell me yes or no. Do you have any insight or maybe news about maybe Last of Us 2? And will we get to see Joel or Ellie? Ellie.
Here goes. Didn't he just say that? Hold on, Mike. Here we go. Let's do this first of all. Let's get this out the way. All right. Yeah. There we go. Let's get that out the way first. Didn't Lou tell you that he's not trying to get gotcha? You know what I'm saying? Didn't we get that?
Well, I figured I had to ask.
You figured you had to ask. All right.
That said,
I said maybe you can give us a little insight, maybe just a taste or a sniff.
No. If we knew,
You said a sniff.
I had to ask for Quiet, my boy Quietish.
if we knew, we would definitely be sharing it with with the people who read Dual Shockers, or if we weren't able to say, I definitely couldn't say here.
Right.
But no, I don't know anything more specific. I think Naughty Dog is real good with keeping that stuff under wraps. The issue that we have with a lot of dev news or dev rumors is most companies are out there based in San Fran, LA, Washington. They're out there doing the West Coast thing. We're a New York publication, so we're by Rockstar. And I have a few friends over at Rockstar. Once again, can't say anything. But
hold on, I gotta give you one of these because now you got me all intrigued. I know you got the information about Red Dead Redemption coming to Switch.
I heard rumors that we might get Grand Theft Auto 6.
Look, Lou, you know about Red Dead Redemption coming to Switch. You know about GTA 6. You might as well spill it. All of a sudden, his box gonna drop out of the chat. Like, fuck these dudes.
Completely. My lips are sealed on anything I may or may not know, but trust me, I don't know a lot. You're not missing out on much.
Okay. All right, now I don't feel so bad. All right. Well, I also had this question. This was the personal question I had for you, Lou. What the fuck is a doctor of jurisprudence? Because isn't that like what you are? Like before you were like editor-in-chief, isn't that kind of like that was your wheelhouse before you did this?
That's still my wheelhouse.
Oh, that's still your shit. Okay, all right. Can you enlighten me? Because I literally had to practice saying it. Like,
nothing much to it. It basically means that I have a law degree.
Oh, okay.
Juris Doctor.
Okay.
Doctor of Jurisprudence. It just means that I'm out there doing my law thing. and bring in the big bucks, etc. I wish.
Ooh, let me borrow $5.
Yeah, it's nothing special. I really just use it because it's technically a doctorate, a law degree, and I use it to just piss off my fiance every once in a while. Where we're arguing, I'm like, trust me, I'm a doctor. I know this.
Like, the guy is shot, Lou. What the fuck do you think you could do? I don't know. Shit, be by him. Just like...
I'm a level 5 healer. I got you.
Oh shit! He got a Phoenix down in his pocket and shit. Yeah. All right. Well, that was my because I couldn't because I looked up the fucking definition.
Where
and I
did
was
you
still
see that?
confused.
I'm trying to figure out where I even have that listed.
I have my sources.
All right, I trust you.
No, straight up, it was on DualShockers. I think it was listed there.
Oh, they must have put that there. Damn.
Yeah, they did. It was like he graduated with a Juris Doctor. I was like, what the fuck is that? So I searched it out, and I was like more confused on what it was than when I originally heard it. So I was like, what is this dude? Like, is he like a judge who is a jury? I don't know. I was like, I didn't understand it. So can you practice law? Like, can you literally maybe be a lawyer, or do you have to go through other things?
Well, what you have to do after you get a law degree, it's illegal to practice law unlicensed. You have to go and that's when you pass the bar exam, when you go through character and fitness, where they basically research everything in your life. Mm-hmm. And you have to pass something about ethics too. So I'm mostly through all of that. I'm trying to finish up doing that, but I ended up moving to Nashville last year, so I'm trying to figure out why I'm still trying to get a license in New York to practice.
Right, but you have to still pass that ethics shit that you can't get past. I get it. Yeah,
I'm more nervous into them looking into my life. They're gonna go and start reading DualShockers articles, see a lot of things that look like hentai.
Then they look at your motherfucking web history and they're like, okay, he's all into fucking Overwatch hentai. I see it. Like, I see it. Okay, all right. He got Overwatch porn on his shit. I get it. Well, when they find some shit on you, just let us know. I would love to just report on it. They'd be like, yeah, we had Lou on, and they found out he had R. Kelly tapes and shit. So you heard it here first, folks. He's got those tapes. All right, so let's see, where are we at on time? Okay, we're kind of good on time, so I think we can hit this. The second segment here that I have lined up is really focused on Nintendo. And the question I wanted to pose to Lou and the panel is Nintendo making a comeback? Like, is this kind of like a renaissance for Nintendo right now with the Switch? Let me start with Lou. What do you think the state of Nintendo is right now? Do you think they're sitting good?
All right, I'm going to start out saying I'm more or less a Nintendo fanboy. I started off, before DualShockers, I was over at My Nintendo News, which is basically a huge Nintendo blog where they write basically a paragraph about anything breaking or any small rumor. That said, I'm going to be as unbiased as I can with this. I think Nintendo's doing a great job. I think they're making a good case. I think that the Switch is understandable. Like, for instance, I know you want to go burn 1-2 Switch, but
oh shit! Hold on, do I get? Oh, yeah, I got one. All right, fuck, I lost one. Okay.
Hold on. Wait on. I think
hold
that's
on, Mike. No, I know what you about to do, Mike.
That's not. That's not to you. Hey, take 9, Leon.
What happened?
That's his 9th live there, Leon. I think it's.
I think he needs to go on timeout.
No. I'm on. Look, realistically, I'm on my second to last live. I got 2 lives left.
Right. Mike's counting your life.
He's counting it. That's what. Hold on. Fuck you, Mike. Boom. Now you had 4. Now what?
So, anyway, I broke out the 1-2 switch one day with my family. My mom, dad, never played video games before, and they were just going ham with that dual game. It ended up they got a Switch for themselves, ended up using it just for parties. It's a drinking game for them because they're still doing that. God bless them. And yeah, so I think there's a good reason out there to get a Switch. They're definitely outside the realm of PS4, Xbox One. I don't think they're in the clear. I think that their sales are doing well. I think hardware sales and adoption is a big key factor. But until we see what the next year's lineup of games are and the year after that, I think that it's going to be hard to say that they're successful. Because we had a lot of people buy the Wii, and yeah, hardware sales for the Wii were awesome, but people weren't buying games for that. And I want to make sure that that's what's happening.
That's true, because it was like the best game on the system was like Wii Sports.
It's like
I love that game. So it was like, why the fuck do I need to buy anything else? I got like the best game ever and shit.
Wii Sports was amazing, but my jam on the Wii was Star Wars.
I didn't like Star Wars on that.
Force Awakening, you get to hold the Wiimote and swing it like a lightsaber and all that. That was awesome.
That's the masturbation move.
Hell no.
Yeah, that shit wasn't dope. That's probably why your arm's strong than a motherfucker right now and shit. Yeah, hell no, man. I liked Bleach on the Wii.
Oh man, that was masturbating.
Bleach on the PS3.
I was
the light for that though. I ain't gonna lie, Bleach was terrible.
I was at a convention in Houston, and they had the setup for it, and there was two people playing Bleach right next to each other. You just see one guy going, ah! Like,
have you ever played No More Heroes for the?
Yeah, No More Heroes was dope, but that was literally the masterbation move. Like you had to do it.
Yeah. In order to recharge your lightsaber, you had to beat off. That was in the game. I was like, damn.
But look, here's the thing. Nintendo is already selling so well, though. Like it's already
sold 5 million.
Yeah, 5 million within 4 months, right? That's damn good. That's
they're having problems about a third, right? It's almost a third. It's basically more than a third of the entire Wii U stock in about 3 months.
Holy shit!
And
that's about the lines in Japan for the Wii. I mean, for the Switch.
And I know they were fighting with against Apple for parts and stuff, but I'm thinking, once they can get their stuff together, I think they're going to have an incredible holiday season.
Definitely.
Got to keep it in stock, man.
Right.
They got the SNES to keep in stock, and they got to worry about keeping the Switch in stock.
Right.
Because they're going to sell the SNES through the holidays.
If they get the thing in motion and everything, Zelda, Mario Kart, it's gonna be selling like hotcakes. All of the first party games.
That's true, man.
People are sleeping on Pokken too. I think Pokken is going to do well on the Switch.
That too.
Pokken probably will do well, but I think what's going to change the continental shift. We talked about this, Leon, is that Pokemon game.
Yes.
That Pokemon RPG is going to be massive for Nintendo.
But the main thing Nintendo needs, and we've all said it needs some more third-party support.
Yep.
Why do people? I don't really agree with that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because I feel like the Wii had third-party support. Nobody liked those games on the Wii. People like Nintendo
Maybe it's more a
games.
thing where they need good third-party support.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It needs more good third-party support.
I don't want to play a watered-down version of a game that I'd rather play on
Duty
PlayStation.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that. I don't want to play any third-party game that I'm finding on the PS4 or the Xbox One because they're not making a case for why I'm going to play it on the Nintendo Switch.
Right.
Most indie games, for instance, we have World of Goo. We have what are some of the other?
I Am Setsuna.
Master.
Oh yeah, I Am Setsuna is amazing. Yeah.
We have Binding of Isaac, which is on everything. But I think
Binding of Isaac's so frustrating.
Very frustrating, but in every way that I want.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love shooting coops.
But it's just like you said. I mean, I promised myself I wouldn't buy another WWE 2K game. I'm probably going to buy WWE 2K for the Switch. Just
Take all his lives away. Take every single one.
Take every last one of them away.
just
Here
because
we
it's
go.
just because it's portable.
You know what, Mike? I was wishing you said that.
Bye, Mike. All right, so
15-minute timeout.
Has there been an episode where he hasn't fully lost all his lives?
yes, there's amazingly I almost like where I'm at right now. How I'm close to dying. It was another episode like that where I was close to dying, but I'm trying to be real crafty and I got 2 lives. Hold on, how you? Hold on. Don't fucking unmute yourself. You know what I'm saying? You are in a Mario timeout because you said you're buying 2K for the Switch.
I only lost one life.
You only lost one life? No. I took away your lives. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. He did it himself. I didn't have to do it.
You jumped off a cliff, right? And you got stuck in a bug where you just kept spawning in the hole and falling in the hole. That's what happened.
There you go. Exactly. So he got glitched out. Sorry, man. We just restart the game. In about 10 minutes, you come back in. So, but like I said, it's just crazy how Nintendo is doing. It's just weird to talk about them like that because like how disastrous Wii U was, and like it had nothing to offer, honestly. And a lot of the developers didn't take advantage of the of the touchpad and shit like that. They really, it just really dropped the ball. And it's like to hear Nintendo almost there, close to, like you said, a quarter of the lifetime sales for the Wii U in total is very, very promising. And, I really hope Nintendo can do something.
Can I ask a little question?
Yeah.
Did you see those leaked NPD numbers?
No, I don't think I have yet. I've been out all day.
All right, no, because I want to ask you if you saw Nintendo's sales figures, because it was kind of crazy how they sold so many Switches and they've been reporting like stock issues.
It's like 262,000 Switches.
Didn't they say? Didn't they just announce though for the quarter what they sold?
I thought they did. I thought they had that investors meeting or
Like
whatever.
4.7 million.
Let me pull that up. They definitely announced it there, and the good thing we know is that unlike the Wii U, where they have the number sold for Wii U, that's number sold everywhere. That's number sold to Toys R Us. That's number sold to Walmart. They could be sitting on shelves,
right?
But you know that not necessarily everyone has been out there buying it. They might be rotting in some garage somewhere. For some big retailer, but for the Switch, those aren't staying. So when we're seeing those numbers, we're knowing it's almost not exact, but close.
Dang, man, that's like crazy that even Nintendo is even part of that conversation, because they just fell so far back with the other shit that they had. Like like you said, the Wii sold tons of consoles, like tons of units. But like the games didn't reflect the fucking adoption rate, It was just like
they had too much shovelware.
Yeah, it was a lot of shovelware on Nintendo.
Yeah, that's why I don't really want that much third party, because then it gets out of control,
Right. Yeah. So I found the number, by the way. Apparently,
give it to us.
4.7 million.
Holy shit!
Told you, right there on the dot. I seen that earlier.
And the Wii U had 13.5.
And that's lifetime sales, right?
Lifetime sales. Not selling much more either after this.
This already did half what the Wii U's.
Holy shit!
Almost.
You know what I'm saying? Like almost half of Wii U's lifetime sales. it's just astonishing that Nintendo bounced back. I think they definitely had a good idea with the Switch. You know, that idea that you could take the console game with you and shit. You know, I think people kind of always wanted that. And you know, PC dudes, you know, they had that shitty ass, what was it called? It was like Nvidia Shield or something.
Oh, yeah.
And that shit was too
they use the same stuff though, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
same.
using Nvidia technology. Yes.
To be fair, the Wii U was actually a good idea. It just came out actually too late. It should have came out when the iPad was, you know, starting to catch fire.
I think the Wii U is going to be sought after now more so because if you notice, old Nintendo's products are like that. Like people hate them, and then they become rare, and then it's like the hardest thing.
I want to believe that. I don't know.
I can't
I really
agree
feel
with
that
that.
way.
I don't know.
There's some gems. I mean, yeah, I want to go back and play Xenoblade. I want to go back and play Bayonetta 2, and there's a few things, but I'm just kind of hoping everything gets ported over.
You know, I know that new Xenoblade coming out. I forgot the release date. I think they announced the release date for it.
It's definitely this year.
Yes, this year. Yeah. Xenoblade is looking pretty scrumptious, and then
The first one was good.
The first one was my favorite. And then I like Xenoblade Chronicles X. I do like that one too. Did you get a chance to test that one out, Lou? The one for Wii U?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't finish it. There's just too much on my plate, but yeah, I mean, that was. I thought they did a great job with the hardware that they had. I think they're one of the best developers. I kind of wish I could see what they do with more hardware, with higher specs.
Right.
But I think that's the reason why you go and see the credits will roll for Legend of Zelda. You'll see their name there. It's because every single studio, even Nintendo studios, are going out and asking them, "How the fuck did you do that?"
That's true. It's like, what kind of demon magic are you pulling on this shit? You know, but those games, Nintendo does have a lot to prove. I absolutely feel you on that sentiment. Look, it's like, I'm a Nintendo fanboy too, and they'll tell you, they'll vouch. I've always tried to put some sort of Nintendo conversation into every show that we have because I feel like they still deserve a chance. They still deserve our attention.
They can make the games.
They want it hard.
Yeah, and it's just like, and then this, the Switch is like, it's just literally smashing all of my expectations. My expectations were low. I still support Nintendo, but then it's like I start thinking in the back of my mind, fuck, they're gonna be gimmicky. They're not gonna have any games for it. It's gonna be shitty, And then you get this number, and it's like 4.7 million, already, and it's just really, really encouraging for them. And I props to them. Shouts out to Nintendo. You guys are picking up the pace here. Just keep it going. You need more games. Pump them motherfuckers out. Show that shit. Show us that you're supporting the effort, and we'll definitely support that effort. So
they need to redesign their party chat hardware idea, though. That's a big screw up right there, though. Yeah, they're doing so well, and I think that is just that they're like shooting themselves in the foot with that. Like, who wants to have their phones and all these cables and stuff to play a game with their friends?
And they're trying to get us into Scientology. I keep telling you.
It's Illuminati apparatus. I get it. So what you think, Lou? I know you saw that fucking like Splatoon like voice chat setup. I want your take on that because I felt that was stupid. What you think?
It's bad. It's bad, and they know it's bad. I mean, I don't think they're not dumb people. I think they know. I think that maybe they were trying to figure out how to make DNA relevant. They're a mobile developer. And yeah, sure, they're doing good work. I think for other things, Fire Emblem Heroes, I hear, is netting them some cash, and all the other stuff out there. But I just think this was a misstep. I like the idea of it. I get what they're going for, but it's not executed well. It's
not.
I'd prefer almost to have nothing event happens.
Achilles, what'd you say? He said if somebody had that shit on, they looked like Bane.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Batman. and shit.
Brainiac and shit.
Yeah, Brainiac.
You remember you remember those old movies where they had like the little phone systems like, hold on, let me connect you, and it had a little.
Right, hello, operator. I'd like to be connected to the fuckery department. Here, let me connect you right now.
Lou, I have one more question, okay?
Yeah.
Do you believe media bias is a thing? My boy Preston wanted me to ask you this since he couldn't be on tonight.
Yeah, sure. What do you mean media bias, though? Like, give me an example.
That's all he told me to ask. He texted me. You want to know if you believe the media
Do you believe like the media is out to get Xbox?
There you go. That's the question.
Yeah, that was it.
All right,
yeah.
so I definitely have things to say about the media. I think, and yeah, it's skewed maybe by the fact that I'm in the media. I don't think that everyone is biased against Xbox. I know a lot of people personally. There are a lot of people writing these articles that seem flame baity, but these guys are all. If you're in this industry, you're in it most likely because you fucking love gaming, and you want everyone to do well. Like,
Yes.
you know, if PlayStation 4 is doing great and Xbox is doing great, that we're not hoping death on the other plastic box out there. So I know media bias, they say for that. I also hear for review scores. And I'm the reviews editor, or I was the reviews editor before I was editor in chief, and we have a lot of talks about reviews at the site and review policy and stuff. And yeah, you see a lot of games getting 7, a lot of games getting 8. You hardly see anything dip below a 5. And let me start off by saying the DualShockers, we use the whole spectrum. If you go and look randomly at any given moment, you're going to find stuff that right now we have things that are 9.5. We gave Sundered, Kickstarter, game that we played on the PC, 9.5. We gave Miitopia from Nintendo, big publisher, a 5.5. We gave I just gave Cooking Mama whatever for the Nintendo 3DS, like 2. That said, people, I think, when they're criticizing it, and I get the criticisms that it looks like we're just handing out 7s, handing out 8s, that video games are a 3-year investment for developers and multi-billion, maybe trillion-dollar industry. And these big investors, EA, aren't greenlighting projects that look like trash. So we're only really getting good games and great games. And yeah, sometimes we have a few that slip through the crack. We have a few okay and bads, but yeah, I think typically we just see better games nowadays. And those are, I guess, are my 2 things on media bias.
Well, I have a question for you about that review. I have a question about your review process.
I got a question, man.
It's okay. So what was the worst thing somebody said to you, like on Twitter or any of these media, social media outlets, when you released the review? First of all, what was the game, and what was the worst thing ever said to you?
You know what? I don't get a lot of negative, surprisingly, which is crazy.
And everybody else do. You go to IGN shit, and it's like, holy.
Oh yeah, no, IGN's rabid. The good thing is, I think we got a real respectful audience at DualShock. Not that everyone's respectful. We are on Metacritic, so we pull people in. Yeah. We see on NeoGAF that because we're DualShockers, people think that we're PlayStation centric, that we hate Sony, not Sony. We hate Microsoft. We hate Nintendo. That we're shills for Sony. For instance, I told you I gave the Nintendo Switch a 6.5, which I still stand by. Even though I love the hell out of the console, I bring it with me everywhere. Yep. But I thought the hardware has some shortcomings that I still think exists, and it's going to prove itself with the games. But I got ragged on for being a shill. I think. Do you know what? I have one. The one I got disagreement with the most was I played Dear Esther, Landmark Edition.
Okay.
You know that game, Dear Esther?
Yeah, I know that
I
game.
know Dear Esther,
I know
yes.
I'm not gonna. I know a lot of people out there don't like walking simulators or anything like that. I ended up giving.
Achilles.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play books, but yeah, continue.
Now I gave it a 3.5 when it came out. I really, I trashed it.
Which is
And it's not because I don't like the genre. It's just that I'm a fan of, if I'm reviewing a game, and this was the remake of the game that came out last year, 2016 September. And I said, if you guys are releasing a remastered version of the game, and it has nothing new added to it, and it's a game that is 8 years old and was a student project, and every other walking simulator out there, whether we're talking about everybody's gone to the Rapture, Firewatch, yeah, everything is surpassed it, because this was building blocks. This was the Mario 64 of the genre,
Right.
but that doesn't mean that it's going to hold up consistency wise. If I'm recommending it to people buying it now, then it's not going to turn out well. But there's a big following for that game, so people really dug into me on that, and I stand by it. The good thing is that I think if you go and everyone wants to be heard, if you go and approach people respectfully in there, like, all right, I get you disagree. What's your opinion? Why do you think I'm wrong? Let's chat about it. You don't get as much vitriol as you think you do, at least.
True, but then there's some sites though, man. Like
there are some.
You know it, and you go in there, and it's like, how did it get political? Like it'd be like a review for Legend of Zelda, and you start reading the comments, and then all of a sudden it just turned into politics and all kind of shit, and it's like, what happened? What happened to the conversation about this particular review or this game? It just like spirals out of control, personal attacks, people screenshotting fucking tweets and reposting it saying you're a fraud and all kind of shit, and it's like, wow, people will try to test you. And I'm surprised that you kind of avoided a lot of that, because you are on the review side of things, and your opinion is heard across millions and millions of people. So I'm surprised. That's pretty damn good. DualShockers community is pretty good. So I think that's what makes a difference.
Since we're on reviews, let me ask you: can you name one game that's a 10 in your book?
Yeah.
Here we go.
And you know what? I'm gonna dip into Xbox here. I think, and I stand by it, I think Ori and the Blind Forest is a solid 10.
Oh god, I so rage quit that game.
She was like,
oh my god, that game, nightmare.
Terry, what the hell with that game?
Oh man.
But I reviewed that game. I gave it a 10. I was the top of the leaderboard, I remember, for at least until it launched, because I know as soon as it launched, people were kicking my ass. But I think that for an indie studio that was brought on by Microsoft, so technically not indie because it's published, but whatever. For a small name studio, I think they did an amazing job in a very tough genre where it's hard to make an impact, and with an almost Pixar quality story and some of the best soundtrack that I've ever heard in gaming.
Absolutely.
I think that yes, there were rage quits. Yes, I got my ass handed to me many times. Dying like that game is just instant. But I respected the hell out of Moon Studios, and I can't wait to see where they go next.
Dang, okay, that's interesting. Because I love the game too. I think it's amazing as well. But dang, a 10, woo! Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting.
Now, since we're speaking of reviews and stuff, and we're getting close, towards the end of the year, what do you think is your game of the year so far that's out right now?
All right, so here's my issue. I'm probably going to have to end up saying Zelda on it, because Zelda was the only game I gave a 10.
Yes.
That said, I play a ton of old
Where's
games.
Preston?
Shut up, Mike.
Preston needed to be on this episode.
Yeah,
he's listening. He's listening.
You would have
He's
triggered
listening.
him so much. He would like. I'm gonna have to play him out. We got this music to like play people out when they go on a tangent. I'm gonna have to play his ass out, man.
That said, I mean, I'm still going into games through this year. That's the thing when you're working for Dual Shockers, or I'm even sure you guys, you do your Twitch stream. You have to play what the audience is playing now. You can't be a second behind, and you can only play that game for so long until the next thing's out.
And then you get backlogged.
Unless it's Final Fantasy, and then I play it, and and then you throw it out. So
Terry hated Final Fantasy so much, like.
Oh my gosh. It was so bad. Like I have the worst history with games. Like I always get like everybody will get a game. They'll have like the best experience, and then I get the same game, and I get like everything that's wrong with the game happens in my game, and it's just without fail.
I get that. I mean, especially for Final Fantasy, that was Dual Shockers Game of the Year for last year, but that was something that for me. I didn't get into the first, the second, the third time. I had to be in a mood where I eventually sat down and that hit the right notes for me. But if we're talking about standout games this year that I've played that are in contention, because I don't think remasters count, but I think Final Fantasy 12 was great. Speaking of Final Fantasy, they just had that. I think that's definitely worth it. That's kind of in my mind goes up in the list of what a model remaster looks like, because I think they did a great job with that. I still haven't played PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and I know I'm gonna get addicted.
Fire.
That's my shit. Yes.
And I mean, like that. Yeah, that's the thing. Is sometimes games really just take me by surprise. I played last week or something. I literally spent maybe 40, 50 hours just sinking time into Tropico. I've never heard of that game before that weekend, but it was on sale. Picked it up. It was amazing. And I couldn't believe I've never played it, but it was one of those free PlayStation Plus games that was in my backlog, and I was just looking for something.
I tried to test it out too, but I kind of fell off of it. It was like I got into it, and I probably put in about a couple hours, and I was, I don't know.
Yep. No, I see it. It takes a lot of reading guides online.
Yeah. It was like I started looking shit up, and I'm like, God damn, I'm working. Like, fuck. Yeah, I don't want to do this.
I might trigger some people here, but my personal game of the year right now so far is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Good choice.
It's not bad.
I can't get into Zelda. I've tried it. I have it for the Switch. To me, it's empty.
It takes
you got to be good though. You also got to be good at games.
To me, it's empty for playing like the other old Zelda games.
Hold on, is that worth a life?
Everybody's allowed their opinion though, Danny.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Maybe I should give it to you anyway. I don't know.
But today,
I got the fucking curse on it right now. I'm like,
you got the itch.
Fuck it.
But I'm getting back into Horizon Zero Dawn, and I've lost track of time. I put like 10 hours into that game. I was like, oh my god, where'd the time go? There's so much to do in that game.
Okay. Oh,
what you think is? Go ahead, Achilles.
Since we're talking about games, what game have you put the most hours into this year so far?
This year?
Yeah.
I've been jumping around from game to game. I think the game that actually stuck with me the most, and it's not because it interested me the most, but just because it was one of the few stories I played, I think, to the longest point, was Danganronpa.
Oh my god!
Really?
That is my favorite game.
1-2 Reload, and from also including Ultra Despair Girls, which I really liked.
You don't understand. That's like my favorite game of all time.
Which one?
All of them. I love the whole entire thing. Like that game blew me away. The first game just blew me away.
Yeah.
Story, everything about like, and I don't even like graphic novel type games. But
yeah, I think that's definitely an exception to the rule. I think if I had more time on my hands, it would be Persona. I just can't. I don't have that life.
There you
that
go.
game is killing me.
Preston just said that to me. His personal game of the year is Persona 5.
That's. I mean that. I think I'd be on that level too. I just need to play it more.
See, I have it, but I haven't touched it yet because I got a backlog. It's not even funny.
Shame on you, Leon. You've been streaming a lot of it. You streamed a lot of it.
I decided to play that game on hard because I'm a Persona. Like I love Persona, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go in there and do my thing, and it's just a challenge. That game is not easy.
And you got raged, right?
Well, no, I never raged. I just play something else.
like Terry, like when she was playing Kingdom Hearts for the first time. Oh my God, I was sitting here just dying laughing because she's over life after life there, going against Ansem.
Play Fury. That game.
Fair, though. Bullet sponges. Jeez.
Play Fury, Mike. Mike, you should play Fury.
All right.
No, and there's no spamming in Fury, so he won't be able to.
She's like, "What am I doing wrong?" I said, "Well, one, you're too low level." She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, Kingdom Hearts is one of those games you got to grind and get good."
Right? Yeah, that's true. What you going to like the end at like level 7 or some shit? Like what happened?
No, I was like level, I don't know, 50 or 60 or something, and Mike is like, "No, you have to be like level 100 before you can do the end of the game." I'm like, "That's stupid."
I said 70. 70's a good number.
You're like, "No." He basically told me I have to grind another 50 levels in order to beat the game. Like, so you're telling me I can get all the way to the end of the game until like level 50, and then I have to do a whole nother 50 levels just to do one level? That makes no sense.
Hold on now. Plus, you got to remember though, Danny. You know how she is. She's got to play on the hardest difficulty.
I know, yeah, she does play on the hardest shit ever. She's glutton for fucking punishment and shit. She's just like, all right, I'm gonna put it on extreme, wreck my ass mode, booty clap mode,
masochist mode.
Though I always beat them.
You do.
I'm not gonna get to the last level, and then they're gonna tell me I have to do it all over again before I can finish that last level. That no game has ever done that. That makes no sense.
That's just true though, Terry. You are pretty proficient. I give you that.
She is
pretty proficient. I've been watching you stream for a little bit. It's like, damn, Terry, you are proficient. I think I can still wreck you though, but maybe.
Like she is a professional streamer, and like I said,
she's pro streamer. You got to be good, or you don't get no views and shit. They be like, this chick suck like a motherfucker. Fuck her.
They're there for my reaction and my commentary more than my gameplay.
Yo, is it okay if I ask a question about Crackdown?
Go ahead.
So I want to ask Lou, what do you think is going on? Like, how do you feel about Crackdown 3? Because I just want to see what your opinion is, your take on the game is, like your perception of it.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Here we go.
He's like, I can't answer this.
Well, based on what we've already seen, not like
I'm about to say, make sure you phrase it so he's a jurist.
Yeah, like not based off of like what you think the game is going to be, like the end result, but what you've seen, the marketing. Like, how do you think Microsoft is doing with showcasing this game to gamers?
I think personally, I think it's a mess. I mean, they lost. I remember originally when they announced it, I was super interested in it, and then just as it's been going on, it's been too wild for me. There's games that the more I hear about it, the less I want to know. And yeah, this is all personal opinion. This isn't Dual Shockers as a site, because I know there are people.
This is not a Dual Shockers sanctioned comment. Yeah.
No, yeah, there are people above me, like founders, and people below me who are super jazzed on it, and that's great. But I don't know. I think when I saw it and how I've seen it since, it kind of, people are saying that they're being more experimental with it. I think it's kind of lacking direction. It looks hectic to some people in a good way, hectic to me in a bad way. I only have so many hours in the day where I'm not going to be investing time in it, I don't think, unless we hear across the board. It's great, and I'm sure that there are a ton of fans, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to bust them. I hope everyone likes what they like, but I need to.
They're moist already. They heard
Yeah.
what you said. They're like,
It's
oh,
like my whole
fuck.
thing with it is like, and this is like something that you hear a lot is that, Xbox is the most powerful console. And I remember going into E3, a lot of people were kind of pushing that narrative, like, oh, this is going to be, the best thing. The conference is going to blow everyone away. And, I kind of feel like now I hear a lot of people saying, well, graphics don't matter. It's not about the graphics, it's about the gameplay. But when I look at Crackdown, it doesn't even look like it's like the third game in the series. It looks like it's the same game as the last games, which like a sequel should kind of be like a sequel should make a game like better. And I just want to know what your take on that is. Like, do you feel like a sequel should be more of the same, or do you think it should improve on what's already there?
I think that, and I think the same thing about remastered games, and I suppose remakes, even though we see much less of those, is that you have to give me, as a consumer, not as a reviewer, as a consumer, give me a reason why I want to get that game other than it's new. I want to, otherwise, why am I picking up this if I could just play it on an older console or something close enough to it for free or for much less of a price? That's why, for instance, when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out, I think DualShockers may, of like big outlets or bigger outlets, have the lowest review of it. I was the reviewer, and I said they didn't give me enough reason for why everyone else who's put 300 hours into this game should go out and get it other than battle mode.
I agree. I do agree. I agree with that. I mean, I like the idea of a handheld Mario Kart, but I do feel like
that's the good part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we put like, what, 10, 12 hours into it, you and I, Leon.
Yeah, we played it. We had fun. I mean, it was...
we went hard.
Mario Kart is fun just because it's Mario Kart.
Yeah. I was like, you and I went hard on it when it dropped.
But that said, when I said I scored it poorly, it's most outlets were giving it 9.5, 10. I think we gave it an 8. So poorly, very loosely termed, because it's still in our review.
A great number.
Great, literally 8. Great. That's what it means for us.
8 was a great number. I think you guys gave it.
Did somebody get triggered on you, Lou, about that score? Did they like?
Oh yeah, I was on full defense on the Nintendo subreddit because I was trying to prevent us. Remember how Jim Sterling got like DDoS'd for his Zelda review, and I was trying to make sure that didn't happen to us.
Who would you say are like the most vocal fans in the community? Like who attacks you guys the most? Like which group of gamers?
People coming from Metacritic.
So those dudes. Okay.
Yeah, basically, it's people who don't read. I think we have a ton of respect for everyone on the site. We think that the people who come to the site are very core gamers, kind of understand that concept of, personal opinions and follow when you're looking for good recommendations, you find a reviewer that matches, or an outlet that matches what you personally believe, and then you track them. So I think that's why we have a great core audience. What we get are, whenever we're the high for a really bad game or a low for a really good game, according to Metacritic averages, we see people pile in from NeoGAF, from OpenCritic, and from Metacritic, just lambasting us. Like, I can't believe you said this is a bad game. Like, you haven't even played it yet.
Right.
Our game's not even out. How do you know it's good?
You said that you were in charge of reviews at DualShockers at one point, right?
Yeah, still am, technically.
Yeah, that's what that's, yeah.
So, like, let me pick your brain on this. Like, so, because a lot of people also tell me this in the community. Like, if a game review's really bad, it doesn't mean you shouldn't buy it. Or that, not that you shouldn't buy it, or that it doesn't mean anything, basically. Like, a game's not bad just because it reviewed poorly. How do you feel about that?
I think that there's truth to that. Yeah. I totally agree. I love games that I've reviewed poorly, and I've hated some games that I've reviewed very well. And it comes down to, are you the audience that's going to fit that? For instance, I'm trying to think of one.
No Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky. Yeah, I mean, I think we scored No Man's Sky pretty well overall. Give me a second. I'm gonna look at my Open Critic page.
Yep.
I'm gonna say a game that I can go to, but I know for a fact that when I'm reviewing a game, I try to take it from a perspective of people who are new to the genre and people who are used to that genre. For instance, Tekken 7. I gave an 80, which is still fairly high. And I'm awful at fighting games. But as you know, I slogged my way through it. I hated the story mode. I really loved treasure battles. Treasure battles were fucking addicting. And I knew that I'm never going to get into the meta of that game. But I reviewed it highly because I thought that even though my experience isn't going to match, the high playing meta that's going to develop, I think that everyone who does end up playing it generally is going to have a great time, whether you're new or whether you're old. Anyway, what we're going to. So what you have to do is more important than how a game reviews score-wise. You got to go read the review. You got to read it because a lot of the times it'll say, this is what I didn't like about the game, and this is why I gave it a bad review. And you say, I don't mind that at all. Like if it says Kingdom Hearts takes a ton of grinding, you say, I like grinding. I have too much free time on my hand. I want to sit there and watch a TV show while I'm doing it. Yeah, that's not an issue.
I hear Terry Winter, nope.
So do you feel like gaming as a whole, like where gaming is now, do you feel like it's outgrown the 10-point system for reviews? Like, do you think it's very hard to kind of fit how a game is within that, system of reviewing?
I think yes, partially, and also no. I think that reviews are much better when you read the whole thing. And it would be a lot easier for people to read that whole thing if that score wasn't there. Because
that's
people want to go straight to the
score.
Yeah,
sure. Because the 7 is not the same on every site.
Yeah.
Some sites, they'll give a game a 7 just because they just want to just give it a score, but they don't know what to give it. But then some sites have a legit reason as to why they give a game a score. So I see what you're saying with that.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that scores are there because people want scores. If we took scores off tomorrow, then we'd have a comment section begging for it. Not even looking at clicks. We look at what people want, and the people who read our site want scores. They like reading our stuff, but they want to see a score because it makes it a little easier for them to process. That said, I think if you have a manageable system, I think when you start dividing it, like I don't want to throw shit at IGN. But
let's just throw pebbles.
But on a 100-point scale, I think you don't need that. That's a little crazy because I can't sit there and say what's the difference between a 97 or a 98 or a 62 and a 64. Like I think that gets crazy subjective in a way you don't need.
That's true. It's like what took off that 0.0 point? Like what removed that?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So for Dual Shockers, how we do it is we do the 20-point scale where it goes 10, 9.5, 9.0, 8.5. And how we have it is masterpiece, amazing, great, good, decent, down the line. And we know that with that half step up, we would say very blank. So like if it's a 7, it's good. If it's a 7.5, very good. If it's an 8, it's great. Very great. So that makes it easier for us where we could kind of sit there and think about how we feel about the game, how we would describe it to you guys on the podcast, or if our friends were coming to us and said, "What do you think about Flame in the Flood, this new indie game?" Oh, we think it's very good. 7.5, not the best thing, but it's very good.
Lou, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Here we go. Oh shit.
All right, no. We're about halfway through 2017, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed a lot of reviews, like such as IGN, GameSpot, Metacritic, so on and so forth. And I've noticed right now a lot of these sites always stick to the same script. They always seem to kind of agree with each other as far as scores go. Now, have you been in a situation, right, where you review the game one way, but the majority reviewed it another?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna go look and see what I've disagreed with the most.
Was it like that 10 out of 10? Not enough water? Is that what you're getting at? Is that what you're getting at?
Enough water.
Yeah, that's what IGN did. It was like
Too much water on Pokemon.
yeah, too much water on Pokemon. It was like 9 out of 10. Too much water and shit. That was like the negative.
That was like the most asinine thing I've ever seen in like news journalism. I was like, are they really publishing this? Like, I felt like they did it for clicks. Like,
I think sometimes you do have that though. They just some of those outlets, man. They do it just for the clicks, the shock value. It's like, that word of mouth spreads. It's like, look what the fuck they did, and then everybody goes to check it out.
There's no such thing as bad press.
True.
All right, so my biggest difference. No, I'm pretty down the line as far as reviews go. If you go look, I love Metacritic. I also really enjoy OpenCritic just because it shows me a profile of everything I've reviewed, and I score average, 0.4 higher than the average. But so that means I'm pretty on the line when it comes to if you follow me, I'm generally hit what the Metacritic average is going to be. That said, like I said, Dear Esther was one where people were very hot on that game, and I was not.
Dudes were like, "Fuck you, Lou. Die."
Well, yeah,
death.
because I think we're playing that game, and a lot of the bigger outlets, they look at it and go, "Oh, it's a piece of art. It's amazing. It's beyond critiquing because it's been so influential and all that." And I'm like, "No, fuck that."
Beyond critiquing,
right?
I said if people are being asked to spend money on it, I want people to know how it holds up today, and unless people are going back to do this for a history lesson on the origins of a genre, which some people are. Go ahead and play the game if you are, but otherwise, I was like, no, this game's trash. It's getting a 3.5.
I guess the reason I asked that question, right, because let's take IGN for example, right?
Here we go.
No. Each year, right, a Call of Duty comes out, which is basically a carbon copy of the previous year. Yet IGN always scores this game perfect. Now let someone else give it a score that's not perfect. Here comes the pitchforks, cannons, guns, and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand what's the logic behind it. You don't have to score a game good because the majority says you have to.
Right. No, I definitely feel that. I think that it all goes down to the independence of the writer and how much of a fan he is of the series or how disattached he can get. And yeah, there are definitely people out there who think that Call of Duties year after year are great, that maybe there's not enough evolution between them, but at least with the last one there was a ton of evolution. Whether it was good evolution or bad evolution is another story.
What did you give it?
But I didn't give it anything. I'm not sure for DualShock.
I didn't give it anything. To make sure that I didn't fucking score that shit.
Let me check.
I have another question.
Well, let's do your last one, Mike, and then we'll move on because I don't want to hold him up too much longer. Because I want to get to this final round. I'm curious to see if he's willing to participate in this or not. So,
oh God.
All right. Have you got a chance to play Sea of Thieves? And what do you think about it?
I'm not the Sea of Thieves guy, unfortunately. Wish I could say, but that's Giuseppe. He's been with the site forever, and he's been playing that game forever. So he's kind of pigeonholed as the Sea of Thieves guy. From what I've heard, though, ton of fun. Like we had, I had part of my team at E3 go and play it, and they played together, and they said it plays way better than it looks, and it already looks fun. But but playing it, you definitely get way more of that. Whether they can, I think it's going to be something whether they capture the audience because it's a game that you need your friends on to play, or I would imagine is much better with your friends on to play. So
Probably.
you got to have it's got to be good enough. It's got to have enough word of mouth that it can sell to your friends and not just to you.
Yeah.
Dope. I know you've been itching to find out about that, Mike, because I know you kind of were interested in that, right?
No, I'm not, because Sea of Thieves didn't sell me. The one that sold me and that I was hyped for was one by Ubisoft, was Skull and Crossbones, I think it was.
Oh yeah, we
Skull
saw
and Bones.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, that one looked amazing to me. It sold me more than Sea of Thieves did.
Yeah, but Sea of Thieves, you can get off your boat.
Mike can go play Tempest, man.
Right? Oh God, don't bring that. He can't. This motherfucker cannot play Tempest. All right, so Lou, let's get the score for Call of Duty, and then we'll roll to this section here.
All right, I'm trying to figure out. I think we've reviewed all of the previous Call of Duties around an 8.
Okay, an 8. Okay. Look, Death and Brimstone. Yeah, Death and Brimstone. But no,
but I'm
okay,
not Call of Duty guy. If I'm going for an Activision game, it's Destiny because I'm addicted. I deal with that on my own terms. But yeah, I don't. I'm not exactly sure who reviews it year after year, but we definitely have someone who seems to think that they do a great job just bringing people back.
Well, that's true though. They do sell a hell of copies, so whatever they're doing. I guess right by the people who love it.
I've always liked the single player. I'm not gonna lie.
See, that's me. I like the single player story. The last one, the story was pretty good. I liked it, enjoyed it. Compared to the Black Ops 3 story. That Black Ops 3 story was trash.
It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
exactly.
I'm excited for
what am I doing? Is this first level or the third? I don't know what the fuck's happening. Like,
but the multiplayer cosmetic of it, it's a copy and paste all the time.
What do you think of the new Call of Duty?
The new Call of Duty, I'm hyped for it. I'm actually going to get it. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Rip. Yeah, I don't like Call of Duty.
I'm not hyped because I know it's going to be just like the other ones where. I'm not hyped.
I'm not.
We're gonna do like I'm waiting for them to pull a Battlefield 1. You know, we're gonna do a World War I game. Guess what? It's actually a World War II game in a World War I setting.
No, I don't think it's going to be, because I think they've done.
No, that was Battlefront. I mean Battlefield.
That's Battlefield that she's talking about. I think actually, because what we heard from Sledgehammer, they did their research on this game. I think
they did research for Battlefield 1 as well. And guess what? They're like they decided, we're gonna put World War II guns and tanks in the game because nobody wants to do single shot guns. It's like, then don't make a World War I game.
Make it World War II. I know.
Yeah, but you gotta understand that Call of Duty were the original World War II game maker. Battlefield.
It was Call of Duty. It was Call of Duty, Medal of Honor. Those were like the original World War I games.
I liked Medal of Honor though. I thought that
Medal of Honor was good. See, I bet you didn't think I knew that.
Yeah,
Medal of Honor was dope. It just fell off hard.
Yeah, that's true.
The moment I see an automatic weapon in that game, it's trash.
Hold on, that Ghost Recon was your game.
Yeah, I know you like Ghost Recon Wildlands. You know they got shit in there.
The gunplay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but if they're gonna go and say we did our research, and then you're gonna put stuff that isn't era, specific, then you did not do good enough research. So no, I am not gonna. I'm not gonna stand behind it and be like, yeah, you did great. Putting things that don't belong in that era, fantastic. Give you a pat on the back.
Have they done that yet?
We don't know. The game's not out yet, so I'm just saying if they do that, because Battlefield 1 is guilty of doing that. I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know. Like, I won't even play Battlefield 1 because I was excited. I'm like, yes, finally a true World War I game. Nope, it's World War II.
You played it there, Terry. Don't lie.
I played it, and then I raged because I was like, why is this gun in here? This is World War II. Why is this tank in here? That's World War II. This is not World War I. Threw it out. No. No, false advertising.
Did you play World at War?
World at War. Might have. I can't remember.
That's Call of Duty.
That game had the most authentic gun selection I've ever played in a game.
That's the one that had the very first zombies in it.
I just every time I think.
I don't care about the zombie modes. I don't care about the zombie modes. I don't play those, but I just for me, just if you're gonna make a game based on a specific period or an era, keep it accurate.
Are shooters dead?
That's my thing.
Y'all feel like shooters are dead? Like who's running?
Well, no. I mean, they're still live and kicking. I mean, still making money. Look at Battlefield and shit. You know, they're still making money.
Look, Rainbow Six Siege.
Shooters are still in effect. What it is your love for it is dying. That's
no, the
what
reason
it is.
why I asked that though is because like when you see like the launches for FPS, like I remember going to like the launch of Halo 3, and it was like a movie. Like I never seen anything like that, and I just feel like in this era, it just seems like the hype isn't as there. Like there are people that are gonna buy it, like the regulars, but it doesn't seem like there's like this excitement behind it like there used to be.
All of it's been there, done that.
Well, when it comes to Call of Duty, though, there's two different niches. You know, you have your new age, younger crowd that likes the way Call of Duty is now with the wall jumping and all that other nonsense. And then you have the old school crowd that wants it the way that the new game's going to be. And so it's going to be divided. These young kids are going to hate it, and us old gamers are going to be like, yes, that's awesome.
You know, it's just
the way it's going to be.
Instead of fucking... You know,
the fact that these young kids aren't going to be able to slide on the across the ground and then climb on the wall and do all this nonsense, they're going to be like, this game is terrible. I can't. What do you mean I have no? I mean,
they have lawbreakers for that though.
They're like, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't hide behind this wall and get and just get health and stuff? This is trash.
Well, if they want all that, they should go back and play Halo.
No, I'm gonna go back and play my new Call of Duty where I can, put it. I can't remember the dang game mode because I hate it so much. The one that everyone plays, the hardcore one that isn't hardcore. It's basically, to me, it's baby mode. Basically, all you gotta do is spray and pray. If you hit them in the toe, you get a kill. So, it's just stupid.
I thought that's Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's why I like Call of Duty.
I prefer hardcore mode. I like hardcore.
Hardcore, yeah. See, to me, it's the wrong term. Hardcore to me means it should be really, really hard. Not, we basically made it super easy so anybody can look good because you literally just have to wound them and it's an instant kill.
Well, see,
I mean, get
good. I understand what you're trying to say there, Terry, but you got to think. Hardcore is like it's basically you're going to take a bullet and the bullet's going to kill you.
I'm sorry, Mike. If I get shot in the hand, I'm not going to die instantly from it. So no.
You don't know that.
All right.
I do know that. All right. And another thing that I'm sorry, I'm getting triggered right now. Another thing
you are getting triggered right now.
I freaking hate how your knife is, stronger than a dang gun. You're going to tell me you're going to go that makes no sense. No, I'm sorry. A gun that has, propulsion behind the bullet, you're going to tell me that's not going to do more damage to your body than a dang knife.
Have you not seen Commando Pro?
Okay.
That propulsion. Like,
yo,
these guys taking these knives and throwing them across the map. No, that's ridiculous.
Terry.
It's ridiculous.
Terry,
no.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to breathe. Okay.
I'm getting super triggered. Or like you'll have like these guys with like these big, with these darn rifles and stuff. They have like these high caliber rounds, and you have this guy with this little 9mm pistol doing more damage than a freaking 50K. No. You're gonna tell me that 9mm is gonna do more damage to me than this guy over here with his, with his freaking, snipe. No.
Yes, if you buy the DLC, you'll match him in strength.
That's dumb. That's dumb. I don't want to see someone have like a pistol and he can kill you in 2 shots, and I'm over here with my freaking rifle putting a whole magazine in you and you're not even flinching. No, that's stupid.
That's the problem. I don't like.
That's why I have to be my stop playing first person shooter, because I was playing COD one night, right? Capture flag mode. I shot the dude in the back, point blank range with a shotgun. He turns around, stabs me once. What the fuck? You mean you tell me a 12-gauge shotgun to the back that should have blew your stomach apart? Just
did you have your grip on there?
With a pocket knife.
Did he have a grip? Hold on. First of all, look. Everybody stop, okay? We could go on and on and on about how Call of Booty sucks, all right? But we have to move on.
Just war games in general. It's like anything that has guns in it, they tend to all follow that same formula, and it just gets me so triggered.
I can tell. Yeah, I can definitely tell.
I think we need to talk about this tomorrow.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it again. We'll bring it up again. But I'm trying to look at the time here. Since we spent a lot of time on Call of Booty, let's just go to the final round. We can do potluck news another time. But let me explain this to Lou because he's new, and let me explain what final round is. Final round is your moment to vent. You get to. You get maybe 1 or 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes to kind of vent on what's pissing you off right now. We can't interrupt you. We can't say you're wrong or right. And it's whoever chooses the final round gets that opportunity. So I always offer to the guest first because, we always are triggered. But I don't know where our guest head is at. So, is there anything you want to get off your chest? Maybe somebody tagged you in a shitty game meme on Twitter and you just had something to say about it, or maybe it's somebody inside industry, you don't want to name them, were a dickhead and you felt like letting them know how you feel about it. Is there something like that you want to get off your chest, Luke?
You know what? Loop back to me. I'm gonna think about it.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's get somebody who wants to do final round, and then you can see how it goes, and then maybe you can bounce off of them. So who wants final round? Anybody?
No, Eddie said he wanted it earlier.
I know Eddie claimed it, but he ain't even hearing shit.
He bounced. He's not here anymore.
I guess he got so pissed. He's like, "Fuck it," you know what I'm saying? All right. Well,
I want to address the whole Crackdown thing.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's start off with Leon. Give us kind of your pissness about Crackdown, and then we'll see if Lou has something to say. So we are entering Leon and possibly Lou into the
final round.
All right, Leon, it's on you. Go.
I'm probably going to trigger a lot of fanboys with this, but I think every week I choose a different group of fanboys to trigger. So this week I'm coming at the Xbox dudes. I just feel like, hey, everybody was hyping up the power of the Xbox X, and I want to see the power. I'm one of those people that want to see it. So when I saw Crackdown 3 at E3, I was disappointed. When I saw it at Comic-Con, or was that Comic-Con, SDCC? Mm-hmm. I was disappointed because I didn't see anything that was an improvement on the first 2 games. And I actually beat the first 2 games. I played the first 2 games, and I didn't judge them for what they were. I enjoyed them for what they were. I didn't say, oh, this game sucks because it doesn't have better graphics than Grand Theft Auto. I actually enjoyed those games for what they were. So when Crackdown 3 was brought into the fray and they're showing off, this cloud technology and all this cool destruction, I think we saw this demo years ago. I'm thinking that by the time we saw it at E3 with the Xbox Scorpio reveal, this game was going to look remarkable. And it just seems like I feel like Microsoft doesn't care about the game, honestly, which to me, as a fan of the series, is an issue. And I just get annoyed when I hear people damage controlling this, saying, oh, well, the graphics don't matter. If you've ever played Crackdown 1 and 2, then you should expect this. And I'm like, no, I don't feel that way. I feel like, games are supposed to progressively get better. When I see Crackdown 1, I have nothing to base it off of. Crackdown 2, I felt like could have been better because of what I enjoyed about Crackdown 1. So it's only natural for me to judge Crackdown 3 based on what I've already saw. And I don't want to see more of the same. I want to see something that's going to wow me and say, oh, wow, this is, the next gen Crackdown. And I'm not really getting that. So that's really my rant.
You in it, Terry? You trying to jump in on that?
I kind of want to do the same thing, but only with Destiny because I know it's going to trigger people. I get where you're coming from there, Leon. I'm a huge fan. I wouldn't say huge. I'm a fan of Crackdown. I really enjoyed the first 2, and it looks just like the others. But that's how I'm feeling right now with Destiny 2. I've seen a lot of gameplay. I haven't played the beta myself. I've been avoiding the beta because I want to be wowed when I play the game for the first time. But from the gameplay I've seen, it looks copy and paste. Like, it looks just like the first game. Like, they didn't change anything other than the fact that now you have, new maps. It looks the exact same game. The menus didn't even change. They literally copy and pasted the freaking game. I'm just sitting there like, what's new? This is the new game. What's new? I'm not seeing anything really new at all in Destiny 2.
Hey, Terry,
So,
did you see my meme?
No, I don't look at memes, but oh my gosh, I don't know. Everyone's, the big talk lately has been Destiny 2 and Fortnite, but when it comes to Destiny though, they haven't showed anything that's supposed to be new and exciting. This is their new big game, but it doesn't look. It literally just looks like Destiny 1. They're just putting a 2 on the title.
Speaking of that, Terry, let me
Are you in on it too, Eugene? You gotta say it.
I'm add a little something to that, right?
All right.
I posted a meme in a group, not one of the groups that we're in, just some random group, right? And they flipped the hell out. I think a couple people might have committed suicide that night. I put a meme in there, right? I put a picture of Destiny 2, right, with a caption. So much DLC left over from Destiny 1, we had just enough to make a sequel.
It's dirty.
And they fucking lost their shit. I'm like, how y'all gonna get mad, yo? If you put Destiny 1 and 2 side by side, you will not know the difference. A sequel is supposed to be separate from the original game. These two games are damn near identical. Destiny 2 may as well be DLC for Destiny 1. And people are going to spend another $60 plus however much the on this DLC is going to cost. So, yeah,
how you feel, Eugene?
You damn right that's how I feel.
The DLCs?
I agree. Everybody is, raving about Destiny 2 because they're just fans of the series. I think they're just blinded because they love the series so much that they're just so excited they're getting a new one that they're not, looking at it and be like, you know what, we're not really getting a new game.
No, they're not. They're literally getting an expansion pack for Destiny 1. That's like Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. It's the same damn game with a different name.
It's the same freaking game. And I know people are going to get triggered because, they love the series so much, but I looked at the gameplay and I have no interest in playing that beta because I looked at the gameplay. I'm like, why would I play the beta? I already know that when I get the full game, it's going to be just like the last time where the beta was pretty much the full game. Yeah, they're just gonna add a little more story. They're gonna add, their raids that they don't have included in the beta, and that's gonna be about it. It's gonna be the same BS. I'm calling it right now because I'm looking at the gameplay right now. No, not right now, but I've looked at the gameplay, Mike, and it's identical to the first game.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Identical. It's identical.
The two beta.
It's identical. They just
hold on.
First of all, hold on.
Mike, say, listen, I could twerk in Destiny 2. Okay.
This is the final round. If you not
I can talk to this Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. I'm in it, but I can talk to Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. I remember playing the
There we go. So
even in the chat, they're agreeing that the two games looked the same. They didn't change a damn thing. Maybe the graphics are a little bit better, but you know what? Honestly, who really notices the slight differences in graphics? No, we just talked about that earlier about how you don't really notice. So who gives a shit? It's the same damn game.
Pretty fucking much.
All right, Luke. So you see how the venting goes. Is there anything you would like to vent before I end this final round?
All right, here we go. This one's going to be a whopper, too.
Woo, let's go.
All right. I think that people need to stop apologizing for PlayStation Plus. I think that when we saw PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, we saw a major drop of quality, and that drop of quality was because suddenly it became an integral part of having a PS4, where if you wanted to play online, you needed PlayStation Plus. Now, yes, we started out great. I remember because we started out with who wants to help me? What was that amazing Housemarque game? Resogun. We started out great with Resogun, but then we went years without not getting anything decent. We're just starting to get there. We have Until Dawn. We have Just Cause. But when it was originally released for PS3, we were seeing great games every single month. It seems like we get every every few 5-6 months we get something worthwhile. We get a Rocket League, we get Metal Gear Solid, we get something worthwhile of however much we're spending. And I see a lot of people apologizing for it, saying, "Oh, I'd be buying it anyway for the online service." So they're basically free games. They're not free games when you have to pay for it, even if you get the service without it. And yes, I understand the concept, but I think that we should be holding them to the same standard that we held them when it was a new service on PS3. I'm glad that they're finally, it seems like, starting to meet those expectations, but that was the one thing that was really driving me nuts, was all the apologizing for PlayStation Plus. Not saying Xbox Gold was doing it better, but I thought both systems definitely need some tweaking.
I'm glad you actually said that. I'm glad you said that.
I totally agree.
Me and a friend of mine,
agree with that.
me and a friend of mine had a long-standing debate over that a couple years ago, right, about PlayStation Plus. He was telling me how it's such a great value because you get so many free games. Dude, you don't own none of those quote-unquote free games. You have access to them, free access to games. You don't own them. Because once that PlayStation Plus subscription ends, you can no longer access that game. If that game was free as they claim it to be, you would have that game post PlayStation Plus. Right or wrong?
What about Street Fighter?
Same thing with that.
Yep.
Is that you talking about for PlayStation Plus go with Street Fighter?
Yeah, like I just feel like a lot of these games now too that are attached to like basically like online networks. If there's no network, you ain't gaming.
There's no game, and that's the one thing that turned a lot of people away from Street Fighter 5 was the whole server. I could say about maybe twice a week, server's down for 8 hours of maintenance.
Oh my
then when
God.
the server
They
comes
used to
back
kill
up, then when the server comes back up, right, ain't once shit done to improve it. All they did was add more colors. One new color pack, $29.99. Shouldn't that be included with a season pass? Like, what the fuck? Don't get me started on season passes. That's another rant for another video.
I'm about to say, yeah, we could do that on the next final round, because I'm gonna jump in that one, because you know how I feel about, you know, throwaway DLC and shit.
Day one DLC.
The
Oh,
day
you mean
one DLC bullshit? You know, and some of that stuff do be pretty good, but it's just like, why though? You know, I guess as old school gamers, you know, we remember when we had to just play good to get access.
Exactly. When you just had to unlock stuff.
Had to get good. Remember, we had to just be dope at the game, and then we unlock extra levels and bosses and guns and shit.
That's how you knew you was dope, because you had the exclusive costume. You was like,
you invite your friends over, you boot that motherfucker up, and you got the golden gun. They're like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah, it's like you don't have bragging rights anymore. It's like bragging rights. Like, oh yeah, I worked so hard to earn this. It's the hardest thing to get in the game. Oh, it's so awesome. Guess what? Nowadays it's like, oh, we have all this cool stuff. Oh, I have to put 80 hours in the game. Now I'm just gonna put $50 towards it. Done. Got it. Let's go.
That's why. I mean, I don't. Maybe I'm alone in this, and we can definitely make this a topic in another video. But like, I'm not big on achievements, and like, that's just me. Like platinums, all that stuff. Like,
that's me.
I don't have to get it in a game.
That's a good ass topic, man. Honestly, dude.
I'd rather a score in the game. You know, like how in Pac-Man your score is in the game. That to me is an achievement.
Maybe
I'm just you know what, Leon? That's a good ass fucking.
I feel
topic,
you.
dude.
I feel you.
You know what? I'm gonna add that to the next show, man. So definitely don't let me forget about that, man, because that's a good ass topic. Because I got a lot to say too about that.
I'm not crazy about achievements, so we can definitely talk about that.
No. For me though, for me it's like a sense of accomplishment. It's like added. It's more like added objectives in the game.
I used to be an achievement hunter, but ever since my stream thing has been going on, I don't have time to be an achievement hunter anymore. So I kind of I fell off that wagon. But I mean, I do agree with Eugene. It's all about that sense of accomplishment. You have that bragging rights and be like, yo, I did this. Here's my thing to prove I did it. You can't just be some guy. Yo, I beat that game in the hard setting. Where's your proof? I have that achievement or that trophy that says I did it on this date. Yep. That's
would
my
you
proof.
Would you rather an exclusive costume or gun or an achievement?
Oh, give me the gun.
I don't care about usually those
the gun is the achievement. I screenshot it.
No, usually you're gonna get me triggered on that now because I really hate when you do exclusive stuff because it's usually trash no one uses anyway. Like, yeah, guess what? Go get the game right here on this exclusive. You're gonna get this exclusive DLC. It's guess what? It's the worst thing in the damn
No,
game.
no,
Never
I'm
gonna
talking
use
about
it.
like if you unlock it with like just skill, like you have to be
skill,
good
like
enough.
skill to unlock achievement or skill
Just-
to unlock weapons and shit.
Skill to get the stuff, to me, it feels the same. Feels the same. It's, you still had to put the work in to get it, and you're still going to have that proof that you did it. Whether you got
Right,
the
'cause you
achievement
got the
saying
weapon,
I
right.
did it, or you
Well,
have that weapon saying you did it, you still have that proof that you did the work. Whereas, you know, someone just going out and, you know, throwing some money towards the game, they instantly buy it. You know,
I'm just
they
saying,
do
like,
no
as far as value goes, like, I feel like there's just no value in an achievement. Like, once you get it, that's it. But like, if you unlock like a costume,
Well,
you always remember it.
It's like,
you know?
it's like
there's
not
some
only is it
value.
like
There's some
something to
well,
show, but it's
maybe
useful
not.
too.
There's probably no
Right.
value in achievements when it comes to Steam or when it comes to trophies for PlayStation, but there is value when it comes to Xbox, because Microsoft pays you back based on your scores and you get discounts and stuff. So I mean, there's value to it over with them.
You know what? I will. You know what? I will say this, right? There are some achievements and trophies that are fun to go after, and then there are some that are just straight up and down bullshit.
Yeah, like I will never go after the Gears of War 2.0 and 3.0 nonsense. You have to kill like so many people. It's not worth the time and getting every single medal and no.
Yeah,
no. I'm not going to get every single ribbon in the game to get the three. No, it's
I'm
not worth the time.
I'm gonna put this out there, right? If anyone says they got a platinum trophy in Black Ops 3, use a motherfucking liar. That's a platinum trophy that no one will ever get.
Why?
Because to get that platinum, right, you have to unlock a certain costume or a weapon or some type of perk inside your what's that place called where you go to level up and stuff, to change your weapons and whatnot. Your HUD, your home, whatever it's called. In order to get
the barracks?
The barracks. In order to get that item, you have to beat this game on realistic without dying.
Okay.
Realistic is one shot kill.
But you got to get good.
I'm pretty sure somebody on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there who done it.
I highly doubt someone went through that game on realistic without getting shot once.
All right, I'm about to look it up right now. I'm about to prove you wrong right now. Let's see this. Let's see. Okay, so what's the hardest? It's a Call of Duty, right?
Prove they didn't hacker mod the game.
What was it? Oh shit! Here we go. Call of Duty, right? What's it?
Because somebody was pissed off about that shit on Game Facts.
What was the game? Was it called? It's a Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty.
Yeah, Black Ops 3.
Okay, Black Ops 3. And what's the mode? What's the real mode?
It's like a gold trophy. I forgot what the trophy was called. But in order to get that trophy, you basically got to beat the game on realistic without using the continue.
Let's see. Platinum. Let's see.
And trust me, we tried to play the game on realistic, right? We was on our first mission for like 4 hours before we said fuck it.
Let's see if there's videos out there. Let's see. Somebody, yeah, they got it right here. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Yeah, you know, they showing it all day. It's like dudes are doing it, man. Dude, I mean, like, you know, 1 year ago, now it was a long time ago, but you know, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 videos. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody going through the game on realistic.
Yeah, they get the Black Ops 3 Platinum realistic. You know, no death. It's listed as no death, realistic, no death. Yeah. Yeah. So, dudes, you just got to get good. That's the issue that we got. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's climb up out this final round because this one was like a battle royal. So that was the
final round.
All right. We have come to the end of the show. What an amazing show it was. I feel like our skill leveled up. Like we're like +1, like the shit. You know what I'm saying? It feels like, you know,
like
Lou has helped us reach that plateau. What was that?
Like a level 19 warlock?
Yeah, we're like a level 19, you know, pimp lock. You know what I'm saying? We've been pimping since been pimping right now. But, you know, Lou, man, look, man, thank you so much for gracing us, man, and just cutting out some time to talk with us, man. I mean, this was amazing, man. I'll never forget it, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Let's get kind of like an outro for you, kind of give you a shameless plug for, you know, doing shockers. But once again, man, thank you, man. Let's go. Lou, there you go.
Yeah, no problem, guys. It's been a ton of fun being on. Yeah, Yeah, for my plugs,
Yes.
just come and visit DualShockers. I mean, DualShockers.com. We're on Metacritic. We're on OpenCritic. We're most of the time at the top of Google. We got our new Discord server, and we're trying to make it all about the community for the rest of the summer. We're going to hope to do community meetups, and that's all I really have to say. We got a lot of great stuff going on, so just come by. Check it out.
All right. The plug wasn't so shameless. See? It wasn't that shameless at all. But, once again, thank you, man. We all appreciate it, man. We all were hype as fuck about this show, too. We were like, let's be on our shit. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you mute your shit. Make sure you ain't out there bad. And we definitely did a good job. My dogs kind of pissed me off a little bit earlier, but we got through it. I just want to give shout outs to Achilles, Cool Cat Terri, Eugene, Eddie, Leon, motherfucking Big Mike. You guys are great, man. We always do a good show, and I always enjoy the conversation with you guys. Shouts out to the people in chat, Ichigo, Quiet, everybody who came by. I appreciate you guys keeping the chat lively. And we will be back next week, Friday, 9 o'clock, same time, Eastern time. I think it's 6 p.m. Pacific. This show was great, and this goes down as one of the ones. So I'm gonna rewatch it tomorrow when I'm not doing shit. So
put the timestamps in.
Yeah, get the time. I'm gonna leave that to you. You know how to do that shit better than me. So, all right. Well, we out, man. Like once again, DualShockers. Shout out to DualShockers. DualShockers.com. Lou, we out. Peace out.